Hello everyone, and we're live. I feel good. Penis. Fan, Chris, viewer, how's it going, guys? How y'all doing? McLaren, oh my god, I don't know why they didn't pit, dude. Viewer, I don't know why. Dude, I mean, they've still got crazy fucking pace, though, so it's not like a locked-in thing. But it was so fucking dumb, bro. Just pit. Well, okay. I'm ideally supporting Max, but if Max can't win, I'd rather Piastri take it than Norris. Queen, how's it going? Thanks for popping by. How you doing? Dude, I don't know what they're on. Their car's like a second a lap faster. Are we on crack? Where wins me? Oh, that's nice. Okay. Norris hate watch, perfect. Sid, how's it going, man? Where wins me? That's cool. I've not played it. Let me know, are you just starting it, Queen, or are you already, like, decently into it? World. Fuck me, that's not Ace Ball World. Milosh, how's it going, man? You've been playing it since beta? Holy shit. Alright, so I assume you're a big fan then? Pushcar, how's it going, man? Well, yeah, of course. What the fuck is going on? Sorry, I'm also watching the Grand Prix. I'm gonna obviously not watch it too closely, but like, what the fuck is going on here? Okay. I heard you don't like, but I think you'd like it. Mushy? Wait, he took... Yeah, exactly. That's what I was watching. It was like a crazy overtake. Like, this motherfucker just lunging. Oh, shit. Zaza. That was a really good one. What the fuck? So, MU... Maki. Fuck. The Qatar Grand Prix. Yep, Chris. Luvian, how's it going, man? How you doing? Oh, sorry, let me just... Spectral, how's it going? Chinese martial arts stories. Oh, thank you. I was just about to look that up, Queen. I had no idea what that was. Like I've heard that term before, but I have no idea what it was. The keys getting... What is the Aki? I apologize. Muggle. What is the Aki? Aki? I don't know what that is. Oh, I see. Oh, I apologize. Muddy, that's actually not a bad one. Like the cultivation. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, Quinn. Fuck, I'm so cooked. Oh my god, I'm so clutch! I'm so clutch! Let's go! Red D was already taken. Shh, let it happen. Shh. What is muggy? That's a great fucking question. It's... of the weather. Unpleasantly warm and humid. How's everyone doing this fine Sunday? Well, morning for me, but fucking afternoon for most of you, I assume. Wait, sorry, Queen, I don't actually know. Is, Where Winds Meet, is it a free-to-play game? In fairness, muggy is not a term that's used very often, Queen. In fairness, like, I don't hear it that often. Whistle Blue. Pit stop, yeah. Oh, that was good. I feel like that was good. 2.5, that was very good. PS3's back. Okay, Max has really got a hammer at this stint, dude. Max needs to fucking just... the gacha is cosmetics? Oh, well, that's good. Only heard Buggy, never Muggy. Buggy the Clown, my goat, for real, you know? Okay, I will download it after stream, Queen, and then I'll play it. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure how many of you are in the Minecraft server, but we will do the Ender Dragon today after stream. I don't know if it's like right after stream or we'll do it later. Obviously, we'll see. Yeah. I know a couple of you have been having issues logging on because of like the new fucking update or whatever. I will figure out a way to make sure that everyone can get on if you guys want to. I got college tomorrow. I can't be there. Nah, Zaza, it's too late. No, I already put it in the Discord. You didn't say no. It is Sunday, motherfucker. What do you mean? What day do you think this is? Stomach bear, send a message and just... Okay. It's Monday for us? Already? Motherfucker, no shot. Time and... It's 10:30 p.m., you fucking liar. Do it next Saturday, please. Alright, okay, maybe. Because I know Gil also was trying to log on to the server. I know Gil was trying to log on to the server, but he couldn't. And I feel like if anyone deserves to be here, Gil does. Because, you know, we've kind of been playing on his server for, like, a long time. So, maybe. Okay, cockatiel, sparrow, turkey, swallow, birds? Excuse me? Za, how's it going, man? How you doing? I'm sorry, do I... Oh, Dr. Z. Ah, that's who that is. Sparrow, Gearman Sparrow, true, for real. Luffy, oh my god, my goat. Why is it like this? It's showing that... I don't know, Dr. J. I think it's an update, because it's doing that for everyone, and it's been like this for like a week and a half or something now. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't know, it randomly updated one day, and now it's... Where did you leave yesterday? By the way, a summary. So we left... So the main character, Lumion, is having a weird dream. And he ran into fours Fuck, sorry. I have the Grand Prix in 1 year, so like fucking talking over myself. Fuck. And he met fours in a bar, and fours took out like a tarot, like a set of tarot cards, and she told him to pick one. And he was like, the tarot, and she goes, oh, sorry, my bad, this is the major arcana, I can't give you this one because I don't have the, because I'm not allowed to, but here's the minor arcana instead. It is fours. Viewer, don't fucking lie to me, it is fours. It's obviously fours. And she says, oh, here's the minor arcana, you can pick one of these. And he got like the 6 of wands, I think, or something. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was the 6 of wands. And then he gets that, and then he goes back into the dream, and his dream is like it's like gray mist or gray fog or something. And he goes there, and he's like kind of awake now ever since he got the ever since he got the 7 of wands. Thank you, Milos. And he got the ever since he got that tarot card, he was able to wake up in the dream, like he was like lucid dreaming. And so he goes back to fours, and he's like, hey, like, what was that? And she goes, I can't tell you the truth of that dream until you discover it yourself. So I think it seems to be some kind of like a ritual or something that Klein is like adding people to the tarot club, and he'll like bless a couple people or something, and then the tarot club members have to go find them so that they can get a tarot card for them to be like inducted into the tarot club or something. That's my understanding. Check out what the Seven of Wands represents. Sure. Let me search that up. Minor Arcana Tarot Cards meaning. Okay. Thank you, Luvian. Thank you, Luvian. Seven of Wands. Ace of Wands, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seven of Wands. Standing up for beliefs, fighting your corner, protective, defensive, determined, challenging, opposing, whatever. Okay, taking the high road. Interesting. Okay, general meaning. Interpretation, upright. I'm assuming it's upright, not upside down. In a general context, the Seven of Wands represents opposing, standing up for what you believe in, fighting your corner, and holding your own. It signifies taking the high road, maintaining control, and being strong-willed. This minor arcana card also indicates someone who is protective, defensive, assertive, forceful, relentless, and determined, and territorial. It can suggest that you are under attack, being harassed, blamed, or scapegoated, but you are still resisting. Life may be challenging, busy, and hectic with this card in your tarot spread, so you will need stamina to endure. Why do you think Klein would make a literal child a Beyonder? Klein sees it as an actual curse. Fuck. Shit, sorry. Norris just said his car might be damaged, so... Dear Lord in heaven, if you're there, just hear me out. Let Norris DNF. Let Max win this race. My goat, for real. Norris get fucked. Why would Klein want to induct a child as a Beyonder? Maybe it's like well, this is true. He did make Derek a Beyonder. And secondly, it might be like now that Klein is not only the Fool, he's the Lord of Mysteries in a kind of. He's likely also able to see like a lot of things, right? So he might be able to see like, hey, this child in time. For the apocalypse will be really necessary for us to be able to do, like, for us to be able to put up a good fight. So, like, Klein is also nothing if not pragmatic. He doesn't like sacrificing people or whatever, but he does understand that, like, hey, if one person has to suffer for fucking all of humanity to survive, that's probably a fucking... Is it from the Grand Prix? It's a slight vibration in my headphones. Does anyone else hear that? Oh wait, fuck. Give me 1 second. I think I might know what. I have my window open because our room is like our house is really hot as fuck. So give me 1 second. Let me know if that fixes it, or if you're still getting it. General meaning interpretation. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, I'm just gonna read this one because I'm curious. Do an ankle review. What the fuck? The fuck is Zaza on? Excuse me? In a tarot spread, you are... what is a love tarot spread? I don't know what this means. All right. Let's just do the connections really quickly, and then we can stop. Can you tell me when F1 races passed? What? Barrow. Yes, I did read this. Sparrow, turkey, swallow, bear. Do you have a favorite race? The Dutch Grand Prix is pretty up there. It's quite banked, so they can take Konas really quickly. I'm gonna assume that's what you're talking about, and not the Brazil. Okay, Brazil is kind of a goated answer, though. Brazil's got fans. Shut the fuck up. Brazil is kind of a goated answer, though, for real. Whistle blue stomach. Silva, Cameroon. Bemis. Solo. This is so good. Alright. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not getting this today. Humans are on top. Agreed. Agreed. Human supremacy. On that, we agree. Reality. Thorium. That's what I'm looking for. So TTRPG officially started. Based. Nice. I hope I can get my session done today as well. I mean, can hope. Dragon supremacy? Nah. Dragons are great, but only so far as I can kill them to get gold, okay? Because they're sitting on a horde of it. The little fucking hoarders. Fuck them. Humans are goated, for real, for real. Okay, chapter 7. Eldritch gods, demons, dragons, vampires, humans. No. Hard disagree. Hey, you can say all that, but in every fucking fantasy world, why is it humans run the world, huh? All those little fuckers, dragons and elves and dwarves, they can do all kinds of shit, and yet they have like little secluded fucking civilizations that have been run off nearly into oblivion, because we're goated, okay? Fuck yeah. You can have all the powers. You can have all the powers in the universe, still lose to the human determination. Get fucking rolled. Having all those powers makes you weak-willed, child. And how many of those fantasies were not written by humans? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, how about they write them? Oh, they can't, because we killed them all, so get fucked. Aha. Checkmate. She doubled it. Oh, I see. Can someone send me the clip of Dara reacting? I'll take a look. Chapter 7. Naroka? I don't know. Naroka, I'm gonna go with. Once Lumion had departed from the old tavern, he found himself standing on the uneven road, uncertain of where to go next. The morning sun beat down upon him, albeit with a slight chill in the air. It was 4-hour TTRP. 4 hours? Are you on crack? Oh my god, sorry. Oscar Piastri almost had a big slip. Oscar Piastri almost had a really big slip. He caught it though. Hold on. Oh god, I hate hearing myself. Dude, you know, as someone who edits his own videos, I've heard myself for so fucking long. And it still irritates the piss out of me to hear my own voice. Devil, how's it going, man? I have to check out this, clip that Miller stuff.
Kind of submissive and breedable.
That's crazy. That's wild. Okay. I don't need any context for that. That's... she's not gonna...
No, dude, because here's the thing. He doesn't need any context, because I'm spitting bars. I'm saying nothing but the truth. I'm saying...
Bro, she's setting the fucking kitchen on fire. She's like, need no context. Bars. For real.
The truth.
And telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. No, you're not Kanye, okay? No. I'm good, Devil. Thanks for asking, man. Nightwalker, how's it going, man? Okay. Once Lumion had departed from the old tavern, he found himself standing on the uneven road, uncertain of where to go next. The morning sun beat down upon him, albeit with a slight chill in the air. As he deliberated his next move, Raymond Gregg emerged from the side. I was looking for you. What's the issue? Lumion asked as he regained his composure. Raymond appeared taken aback. Have you forgotten? Today, we're supposed to seek out the elderly, around the same age as my Pepe, and inquire about the legend of the warlock. Unknown, what's up, man? How's it going? Wait, it's not a... Wait, what? No, the pit stop was fine. What are you talking about? The pit stop was fine. Piastri came out just fine. Are you talking about the hard tire? Lumion quickly regained his composure and queried, "What's the issue?" Raymond appeared taken aback. "Have you forgotten?" No, I've already read this. Fuck's sakes. Lumion groaned, pressing his hand against his forehead in agony. "Is that so? Why can't I recall? Or is it just your imagination?" What? So for anyone who wasn't here yesterday, they're trying. Apparently, there was a legend that in their little town or village or whatever, there was someone who died as a warlock, and so they're trying to find out the body of this man because they're trying to see if they can get some powers or whatever. But this is so cooked. Raymond's expression shifted from one of concern to fear. Just as he was about to inquire further and confirm whether he had imagined the events of the previous day, Lumion's face lit up with a mischievous grin. "Oh, you idiot! You're playing a joke on me again," Raymond cursed. "You need to work on your cursing," Lumion added, shaking his head. "Even Ava can curse better than you." Ava Lizier, the beautiful daughter of the Cordoue village's renowned shoemaker Guillaume Lizier, was now a goose herder. Raymond's expression shifted as he muttered, "Ava." He then looked at Lumion. "She's our friend, right?" "Indeed she is," Lumion nodded. The trio, along with Guillaume of the Berry and Ava's cousin, how do I pronounce it? Azema Lizier, I'm gonna go with that, were inseparable teenagers who often spent days together. "Why don't we bring Ava on board to help us uncover things behind the legend? As you know, her father always said, 'Why must a dowry be paid when a woman gets married?' How many good families have fallen like this? It pains her to hear it. She may be relieved if she can get some treasure or reward from the investigation." Why don't we bring Ava on board? Nope, already read this. Holy dude, I swear, watching the Grand Prix and reading side by side, my shit is like my brain is getting actually fried. I've also heard the heads of several families in the village say similar things, including the Padre, Lumion added. They wish their brothers to stay at home forever. Even if they get married, they won't venture out alone to establish a family. That would require them to split the assets and give them a deserving share. Lumion shot a furtive glance at Raymond and continued. Therefore, many families prefer to let one of their children become a shepherd. This way, he won't get married and have a certain will have a certain income. Most of the time, he can support himself. Okay. Viewer, who are you betting on today? Verstappen or Piastri to win? A man can only hope that Norris DNFs. I don't know how he would at this point, but a man can hope, okay? Raymond's expression gradually darkened as he considered the implication of this mess. He never thought deeply about this before. This was precisely why he enjoyed spending time with Lumion. Although most people in the village believed that Lumion had a poor character and enjoyed lying and playing tricks, he was actually more knowledgeable than anyone his age. Raymond, on the other hand, felt that he didn't know much and spent his days in a daze, simply following through his family's arrangements. It's good that, Lumion thought to himself before skillfully steering the conversation back to their investigation. It's too late now. We must hurry up and ask around. We will get Ava tomorrow. More often our exams are 3 days after exams. Alright, sounds good, Nightwalker. Good luck on your exams, buddy. It's too late now. We must hurry and ask around. We will get Ava tomorrow. Yes, we can also bring Guillaume Jr. and Azema on board later. Not only would this potentially lead to gains, but it will also be a fascinating activity that can train our abilities. By the way, what are you expecting for stuff for COI? Okay, I have a couple hopes. These are not going to be quite expectations, but more hopes. One, I hope that, Lumion doesn't venture alone. I hope Lumion ventures in like a group. I hope he, let's say his friends or someone, he's not all alone like Klein is. I hope that, like, in some sense, he's, like, you know, whether it's these friends like Ava, Guillaume, and whoever, or it's like other Beyonder friends he picks up later in the story, either way is fine, but I want him to have someone. I wouldn't want him to be like Klein in that sense, and it seems like his character type, his character arc wouldn't work well alone, because he's like a trickster or whatever, you know? And that being alone just wouldn't really work. Whereas like him being with people, he's able to keep things a little lighthearted, whereas people can be a little bit more serious. It would add like a good balance. And that's one thing for sure. I think I hope that we get more of was third COI fan. What do you mean? I also hope that we are mostly detached from the Tarot Club for the first little bit of the story, maybe the first half of the story or something, just for the sake of because everyone in the Tarot Club is basically demigods now. There's probably a couple angels as well, I would assume. And if that's the case, the sheer level difference would just make it impossible for them to really do anything, right? Like Lumion at a sequence 9 or 8 when he gets there can't do shit. Like, he might as well just sit in the corner and then just wait for, like, one of the Tarot Club members to do something, because they're, like, fucking angels. What the fuck is he gonna do? He's fucking useless. So, you know, them being kind of detached, I certainly hope we still keep getting some kind of updates, like we see what Audrey's up to, we see what Alder's up to, see what's happening in the City of Silver, all that stuff. But I also hope it's, like, it's also detached. Okay, there's a 15-second gap and there's 10 laps left. My lord in heaven. This was precisely why he enjoyed spending time with Lumion. Although most of them... nope, already knew this. It's good that you know... bring Guillaume Jr. and Azema as well, Raymond grumbled. The more people they involved, the less his share of the rewards would be. Furthermore, if he included them, he would have fewer chances to win over Ava's affections. Lumion regarded him with a touch of kindness and pity in his gaze. Silly child, do you think Ava will fall for you? Her eyebrows are very high, and she only wants to marry into a good family. She clearly has a favorable impression of me, a villain, yet she can control herself. In the Dariège region, having high eyebrows meant high standards, and they wouldn't settle for an average bloke. My sister has always said that there is strength in numbers, Lumion explained. Who are the old croakers that we need to visit today? You didn't investigate? Raymond asked. How could I have the energy to investigate after the incident of the wand card? Lumion smiled. Of course I investigated. I'm just testing your ability. Raymond had no doubts. There are 9 elders who are still alive in the village. They're about the same age as my Pepe, or a little older still. 6 women and 3 men. Ladies do tend to live longer, Lumion said. There's no need to visit the last 2. They're from another village and came here through marriage. Let's start with Naroka. She's the oldest and may have been an adult when the Warlock incident happened. Naroka's real name wasn't actually Naroka. It was a title of respect for her. In the Riston province, married women from prominent families or those who were heads of households were entitled to the title Madame. More than that, their names were marked with a A to proclaim their femininity, and prefixed with NA to signify their authority, or Na rather, to signify their authority as Madames, reigning over their domain. Madame Pauli's family had been in a decline for a while, and at home she dutifully referred to her husband Boest, the provincial administrator. Therefore, she didn't have the na prefix or a prefix. She could only be addressed as Madame. Naroka had been widowed early in life, and as a result, she took over the family's accounts. Despite her 2 sons coming of age, getting married, and having children of their own, she kept her hand positioned squarely on the purse strings of the family fortunes. This was a rare event in Cordoue, where men usually took charge of the family affairs. In families where the father was absent, the eldest child would usually take the authority to manage the family from their mother once they had reached adulthood. Okay, Raymond acquiesced. As they walked by a few buildings, Lumion spotted 4 old women basking in the sun as they chatted casually in front of a 2-story house. They sat very close to each other, catching lice from each other's bodies, which was a form of entertainment in the countryside of Inta's Republic. These people are fucking disgusting. Oh my god. Dude, Piastri's brought that gap down to only 13 seconds. That's crazy. Do we ask her now? Raymond hesitated, concerned that their pursuit of the truth behind the legend may spread throughout the village. Let's wait a bit longer, Lumion said solemnly, knowing that the rumors would spread quickly. After a while, the other 3 old women left one by one because they still had work to do at home. Good morning, Naroka, Lumion said. Naroka's hair was grizzled and her eyes slightly turbid. She wore a dark dress made of rough cloth, and her hands were covered in a layer of chicken skin with obvious patches. When will Aurora join us? Many people in the village miss her, Naroka said. The men, I suppose, Lumion thought, as he entered a state where he spoke his truth while the others talked about another matter. Naroka, have you seen a real warlock, the one whose coffin 9 bulls couldn't move? Only I don't think Piastri's winning. 13-second gap, 6 laps. He's got to catch up like 2 seconds a lap. And even after 2 seconds a lap, you got to overtake Max Verstappen this close to the win and the World Championship. That's going to be one bitch. What is that? Wait, viewer, do you know what the gap, do you know what the point difference will be? I know Max will get 25 if he wins. What does Norris get in, 5th? He'll probably catch up to 4th, though, with Antonelli. I don't know if he'll be able to catch up more. I mean, maybe he can push to 3rd, but I hope not. Osama bin Antonelli. Hold on, my brother. And Naroka's visage shifted ever so quickly. The difference will be 10 points? That's cooked. Naroka's visage shifted. Who told you that? His Pepe came back one night to tell him. Lumion began to spout nonsense. Naroka was stunned. Can souls really return? My papa told me that the Pepe had mentioned it while he was alive, Raymond interjected. Shit. Fuck. No, viewer. No signs. Oh my god. Naroka's expression fell before she spoke up. Before he passed, none of us knew he was a warlock. He acted perfectly normal. Just like how you don't know that Aurora is a warlock? Oh, when they mean warlock, they don't mean an actual warlock. They mean like someone with powers. Ah, okay. Until he suddenly died and that owl flew over, Naroka trailed off. The rest of her tale mirrored the legend. Where did the warlock reside at that time? Where you and Aurora live now. The plot thickens. I think it's their term for Beyonders Queen. I thought, in my mind, I was thinking that when they said warlock, they meant an actual warlock, because that's also a Beyonder, because that's also a sequence. But in hindsight, that might just mean like anyone with powers. Potential damage on the floor? Fuck, no, signs. Lumion pressed further. Where did the warlock reside at the time? Where you two are dwelling now. Our place? Lumion's heart skipped a beat. This answer was beyond his expectations. In a flash, he realized there were a multitude of problems he had previously overlooked. With Aurora's knack for making money and her mysterious unearthly abilities, why on earth would they settle down in the rural countryside? Cities like the provincial capital, Bigor, and the bustling textile center of Suhit, or even the capital itself, Trier, would be far better options. Even if Aurora was seeking a place with fresh air and pristine environment, these urban centers boasted plenty of area that would suit their needs. Aurora once told him the best way to hide is in a big city. Today, he learned that the land Aurora had chosen for their home, the land where their house stood, once belonged to a powerful warlock. Oh shit, I did miss a paragraph. Thanks, Ed. After that warlock was laid to rest, the Padre and the few others ransacked the place and burned it to the ground. For 2 or 3 decades, no one dared approach that site. Eventually, the matter was forgotten. Later, Aurora came and purchased the land to rebuild a house. I see. Today, he learned that Aurora had Where's the warlock buried? Raymond interjected. With no hope of finding riches in Lumien's home, he could only hope that the warlock's body held some kind of secrets. That was quite the affair. It undoubtedly sounded the alarm for the Padre, Naroka said. In the old days, 9 bulls were gathered to pull the coffin of the cemetery. The Padre performed a ritual to purify it. Eventually, the body was cremated and the remains were buried. I see. Raymond couldn't conceal his disappointment. Why do you inquire? Naroka scrutinized. Lumien cackled. We seek the warlock's treasure. Kid, don't waste your time daydreaming, Naroka said. Understood, Lumien replied meekly. Lumien and Raymond bade farewell to Naroka and hit the road. There ain't no hope, Lumien. None at all. Don't be so foolish. Law of characteristic conservation? Indestructibility, rather. Law of characteristic indestructibility. They can't be burnt. There is a chance it is still there. See, I remember the laws. I remember the laws. I have also read the whole book, so it'd be kind of disappointing if I didn't, but shut up, okay? Indeed, all of that could have been burnt. All that could have been burnt has been. All that could have been taken was taken decades ago, Lumien replied. Beside the bleakness of their situation, Lumien wasn't disappointed thanks to the opportunity in his dream. Raymond agreed. Aye, you're right. Of all the tales, only that blasted owl still remains. Lumien's eyes lit up as he said, Owl. Raymond recoiled in horror, but it must have died years ago. He wasn't one for consorting with the likes of owls and other evil creatures. Why the fuck are owls evil? Eh? Owls? God, oh, Harry Potter's all evil now? Fuck this guy. Down south in Intis, owls, nightingales, and ravens were thought to be sinister beings that served demons, stealing away the souls of humans and bringing only misfortune. How are owls evil? If anything, we are evil, okay? Okay, well, J.K. Rowling is. No. Because think about it. Okay, listen, all I'm going to say is wizards, okay? Fucking wizards use like a really slow fucking bird to send their fucking messages. They can insta-teleport, but these motherfuckers use like a really slow bird to deliver their message. That is animal cruelty, okay? Fuck you guys. Antonelli, my go. Just hold him off, okay? 0.6 seconds though, he's got DRS. I don't know if he's got it in him though. But I mean 2 seconds. He did hold off Max too, so I mean Antonelli can do some crazy shit. Have you seen barn owls? I don't think so. Barn owls? Barn owls? Dude, I don't know what kind of dumbass shit McLaren is on. Why the fuck would you not pit under a safety car, bro? Come on. No! Please, please, no safety. Can we end at our safety car? Can we end at our safety car? Shit, just end under a safety car. Just end under a safety car. Come on, no! Let it end under a safety car. Please. Okay, Chapter 8, Owl. The idea hit Lumien like a bolt of lightning, but he didn't particularly fancy going through with it. Ignoring the fact that the years had flown by since the Warlock's demise, Mr. Loki, long time no see, how's it going? Oh, please, dude. Antonelli, just hold him off, my goat. Dude, Antonelli, oh, do it. Listen, he's held off Max, okay? He could do it. The idea hit Lumien like a bolt of lightning, but he didn't particularly fancy going through it. Everything okay, Mr. Loki? You okay? Ignoring the fact that years had flown by since the Warlock's demise and the lifespan of owls was measly compared to humans, the sheer number of birds in the mountain was enough to make Lumien reconsider. Fuck! Oh, god damn it. Fuck. not 10. Shit. The man's tone turned seductive. Wait, hold on. An owl tied to a warlock could live for 100 years, Lumion said. As Raymond trembled with fear, he reassured him. Don't fret, mon ami. This is my last resort. I do not wish to encounter a monster either. Perhaps we should consider, perhaps we should consult another sage. Naroka may have overlooked a vital clue. The man's tone turned seductive as he continued. If I were a warlock, I would not keep all my treasures with me or in my home. I would stash some away in case the Inquisition attacked me. I would not have the luxury of collecting my belongings when I must flee. I would be left destitute. Norris passed him 2 minutes ago? Seriously? What the fuck? How have you liked I am a COI hater, so never take my opinion? So far, so good, Mr. Loki. I like that Lumion's not Klein. I like that he's a lot more loose. I like that he's a lot more jokey and shit. Alright. Fighting chance. Okay, listen. If Max finishes first in Abu Dhabi and Norris is third, he wins, okay? He wins. Hello, my cabbage. McSeely, how you doing? The Inquisition of the Church of EBS was notorious for hunting down warlocks and witches. Their heroic deeds were celebrated through the countryside. Raymond's face lit up with excitement as he exclaimed, "You are right." He said with a yearning expression, "It is a shame. Too many years have elapsed, and the church's discovered riches may have been spent long ago." "Mon ami, that is a dangerous thought," Lumion teased. Undeterred, they continued their visit to Pierre Perret, Nefaria, and the other elders of the Mori family. Mr. Loki, we're talking about the Formula 1 Grand Prix. Although their response mirrored Naroka's, Lumion and Raymond found their newfound experience and managed to extract more details. For instance, the owl was of a medium size and resembled its kind. It had a pointed beak, a feline face, and brown feathers with scattered spots, brownish yellow eyes, and black pupils. But it was larger than an average owl, and its eyes appeared to spin. It was not as rigid or dim-witted as its kind. All these peculiarities made the owl seem even more sinister. "Seems like we've hit a dead end," Lumion said to Raymond as they traveled to the town square. "We must focus on other legends." Raymond was not as discouraged as he had been earlier. "Agreed, but which one should we pursue?" "This fellow is so proactive and hard-working," Lumion silently praised. He nodded and said, "Take your time and reflect. We shall discuss tomorrow." "I shall impart combat techniques to you this afternoon." "Marvelous," Raymond said, overjoyed. By the way, COI is just Cuttlefish trying to gain the final leftover credit scores? Okay, does he really praise the Chinese Empire? What are we talking about? Aurora was a skilled fighter. After all, how else could she handle the savage and rough men in the village? Her younger brother was likely just as proficient as her. After bidding farewell to Raymond Gregg, Lumion veered onto the trail leading to his home. Signs on another fucking podium, dude. Signs before Hamilton. Oh god, I feel so bad for Hamilton, but my god, signs. The smooth operator. After bidding farewell to Raymond, Lumion veered onto the trail leading to his home. As he walked, he spotted a group of men approaching. The leader was in his prime, not towering over 1.7 meters in height. He wore a white robe and had light black hair. What the fuck is light black hair? With a regal demeanor and decent facial features, the tip of his nose slightly curled in an undisguised disgust and malice as he glared at Lumion. None other than the padre of EBS Church in Cordoue, Guillaume Benet. "I've been awaiting your arrival for quite some time," Guillaume said. "Did you deliberately bring those foreigners to the cathedral?" Lumion attempted to explain himself as he took a step back. "I thought you were sleeping inside." He had noticed Pons Benet, the padre's younger brother, standing beside Guillaume. Pons was in his early 30s, muscular, domineering, and a bully. The other individuals with them were the Padre's henchmen. Guillaume Benet signaled Pons with a glance as Lumion retreated. Pons Benet's grin turned sinister as he lunged forward. Rascal! It is time that you learn who is the father here. Before he could complete his sentence, Pons has already hastened his steps and pounced on Lumion. The other brutes followed suit. In Cordoue, the place where logic held no sway and apologies fell on deaf ears, brute force was the only language that commanded respect. Guillaume Benet, the Padre, knew this well, having resorted to violence countless times before. So when he learned that the outsider had been ushered into the cathedral by Lumion, the priest wasted no time in making this move. He was determined to get hold of the ruffian and pummel him into submission until he lay bedridden for a month. Captain Panda, how's it going? Long time no see. The Padre was keen to show Lumion the error of his ways and wouldn't rest until someone paid the price for his insolence. What are you, fucking Escanor? Chill, bro. Of course, he had to avoid Aurora. Regarding the law, he needed only notify the administrator and the territory judge, Boest. The city sheriffs were unlikely to investigate such a minor issue in the countryside. As an outsider, Boest would not offend a local-born padre unless there was a significant conflict of interest. Guillaume Benet was fortunate that the foreigners had not divulged this affair to Madame Paulie, the administrator's wife. To anyone, he was still unaware of this. Despite their speed, Lumion was quicker. Just as Pons spoke, Lumion pivoted and dashed away. He was familiar with the Padre's character and method. Previously, a villager had accused Guillaume Benet of having multiple mistresses and embezzling the offerings of the church. He had also bullied others relentlessly in the village, hardly behaving like a man of the cloth. Subsequently, the villager mysteriously died one afternoon. Lumion raced like the wind, waiting for your papa. Attendez ton père, Pons shouted while chasing him. I gotta have a fucking French to English translator open for this fucking bitch. Oh my god, this is so cringe. Wait for your father. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Bye, Mr. Loki. The thugs pursued closely. Instead of fleeing alongside the main road, Lumion darted into the nearest house. The family was preparing lunch in the kitchen when they suddenly saw a stranger burst in. With a swoosh, Lumion darted past and leapt out of the kitchen. By the time Pons and his cronies entered, the homeowner had regained his senses. He stood up to confront them. What is going on? What are all of you doing here? Get out of the way, old man. Pons shoved the homeowner aside. When they reached the window and jumped out, Lumion had already vanished into another trail. After pursuing for a while, they lost sight of him entirely. Sacre bleu! Pons spat on the countryside. Outside, the semi-subterranean two-story abode, Lumion gasped for air before finally opening the door and entering the house. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. A series of rhythmic shouts reverberated in his ears. Lumion gazed at the empty space on the other side of the kitchen and observed Aurora's blonde hair tied into a ponytail. She wore a flaxen shirt, tight white pants, and dark sheepskin boots, leaping around and drenched in sweat. In Cordoue, the kitchen occupied most of the space of the first floor, serving as the family's core. Cooking and dining occurred here, as did receiving guests. She's exercising again. Lumion was accustomed to Aurora's eccentricities and was unfazed by her exercise regimen. Aurora often did strange things without giving any reason when probed. At the very least, exercising is beneficial and is quite a feast for the eyes. That's your sister! What the fuck? What the fuck is even that? It's fucking average Frenchman, dude. What the fuck? Ew. After a while, Aurora stopped and squatted to turn off the black tape recorder. Shut the fuck up. Chris, shut the fuck up. No, don't even bring that shit in here, dude. No. Fuck you guys. Remember, we have combat practice this afternoon, she said. I have to study and learn combat. Aren't you too demanding of me? Lumion grumbled. Dude, Carlos's second fucking podium this year is crazy. What the fuck? Aurora glanced at him, smiling, and retorted, "You must remember that our objectives is the comprehensive development of the five educations of morality, intellect, physique, aesthetics, and labor." The more she spoke, the happier she became, as if recalling something beautiful. "I've already failed moral education," Lumion muttered. "What of combat?" he queried. One of the viewer, oh my god, what the fuck is going on with the fucking cringe in my chat? What the fuck, guys? Lumion muttered under his breath, "What kind of combat?" One of the things he failed to comprehend was that Aurora, who seemed delicate and frail, was an expert in combat. She mastered numerous fighting techniques and could easily overpower him. Watch her just have the strength of a Beyonder and she's just fucking bullying a fucking regular child. Aurora pondered seriously before leaning forward and gazing into Lumion's eyes. "Self-defense!" she declared. Lumion exclaimed, "Isn't that for girls?" "Boys must protect themselves too. Who says boys don't encounter perverts?" Especially with a fucking father like that in town, there's a... sorry, bad joke. Lumion was unsure if his sister was joking or serious, so he remained silent as he retrieved the white towel and headed for the stairs. Suddenly, he felt something tighten under his foot, as if he had tripped over an obstacle and stumbled. In midair, Lumion hastily contracted his abs, extended his arm, and leaned on the chair beside. He somersaulted and barely landed on his feet. Aurora retracted her leg and chuckled. "One of the fundamentals is to be vigilant. One cannot be complacent. Remember that, my novice brother?" "It's because I trust you too much," Lumion grumbled. He contemplated the matter and realized that the truth was meaningless. He had lost count of how many times he had been at the mercy of Aurora. Aurora coughed and restrained her expression. "How'd it go with that woman?" Lumion provided a brief summary of their conversation. "I intend to wait for your friends to respond before delving into the dream." "Smart," Aurora affirmed. "What's for lunch?" Lumion changed the subject. "We have some leftover toast from this morning. We'll roast 4 more lamb chops for you." "What about you?" Lumion inquired. "I'll just have the truffle bamboo chicken shreds topped with some cheese and onion soup. I tried it last time and I found it quite..." Before she could finish, she froze. The next second, she raised her hand to cover her ears, the muscles on her face gradually contorting and appearing somewhat ferocious. Lumion observed, his eyes filled with anxiety and apprehension. After a while, Aurora exhaled deeply and returned to her usual self. Her forehead was drenched in sweat once more. "What happened?" Lumion asked. "The ringing in my ears is acting up again. You know that I have this old problem." Okay, Lumion didn't probe any further and said, "All right, I'll prepare lunch." That seems like ravings, what she's hearing, right? Like, whether you want to say it's like from like the true creator or something. Maybe she's like what is it sequence 8 listener? Am I making that up? Maybe... I want to say, I was thinking like Abraham family, but obviously Mr. Door has been taken care of. Knowledge, it could be like the Hidden Sage, true. Oh, you are right. She does seem like the type for the Hidden Sage. You're right. You're right. That's a good point. She does seem like a mystery prior pathway. It's not bad. "All right then, I'll prepare lunch. You rest," Lumion said. Every time this occurred, his yearning for extraordinary abilities grew stronger as it became a pressing matter. It may also be Klein? Unlikely, no. I don't think Klein would add 2 people from the same family into the Tarot Club. No, it would seem silly. Sequence 8 listener of the Hangman pathway. Let's go! My memory comes in clutch again! Dude, Signs My Go is on the fucking podium in a fucking Williams. Fucking barely mid-car, my man is pulling rabbits out of his fucking hat. What a goat. Or more likely, McLaren is just pulling fucking, I don't know, just big turd piles out of their hats. I don't know what the fuck those guys are on. How the fuck do you have a car that's a second a lap faster than everyone else and you still don't win the race? That is so cringe. You know a man is really old when he takes pride at remembering something? You are a bitch, Pushkar. I want you to know that, okay? You are a fucking bitch. Let me just enjoy this, you prick. Jesus. This says Sainz was matching pace with Verstappen at one point? Goddamn. Chapter 9, Magazine. Okay, you know what, guys? Sorry, I'll be back in 1 second. My coffee just ran out. I don't have anything to drink. And my throat's just... I need something to drink as I'm talking so much. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be back, okay? I'll be right back. Oh, relax. I'm back. Give me 1 second. Goddamn, Pushkar, you're so fucking... Ah. I am an unk. Only in the sense that I have a niece and nephew. You guys are bitches. Oh shit. Wrong screen. That's fine. You guys are rushing me so much, I didn't even get a chance to warm up the pizza, you selfish bastards. Yeah, I know, Dr. Z, I know. She told me the first time we were talking, when I was setting up her OBS and stuff. It's not fucking midnight for me, Pushcart. It's like noon. Yeah, I know. Okay, believe it or not, most people are older than me. I'm not that. I'm pretty fucking young, okay? You guys are bitches. I'm 22, unknown. Yeah. I know Dr. Z. Dr. Z doesn't call me Unk that. She'll call me Unk occasionally, but generally she's pretty good. Alright. You know what? Let's do a chess game really quickly while I'm just eating. Because I don't want to be reading like this, because that's not fun for everybody. Let's play a chess game really quickly and then we'll go. Easy is not 21. There's no fucking shot. 31, maybe, I'll believe. Maybe. I'm 21, but I'm 22, but I'm much younger than you. How the fuck does that work? Please, explain it to me. If we take like this quick, get fucking rolled. I never called you. I agree. It's quite rare, Dr. Z. You do occasionally. That's what I said, but like it's quite rare. Generally, you'll be like, generally just call me some other shit. I don't know. Battery on this, but I'm sure he sees that. You can just block with this. Can't really do this because then I take. Yeah. That sounds about right. I'm going to do this, attack here. Not really, obviously, because the king can take, but then also attack here. No, I never did. I don't know about that. Oh, true, no music. Sorry. Ah, you bitch. Cringe.
Close your eyes, come to me, feel alright, just dance with me all
But I will keep calling you because you are awesome.
turn it on. just no feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me, dance with me, giving me feel alright.
If he pushes, he's such a fucking... Oh my god, this is so cringe. Do you even learn chess in the... not... No, I don't... I honestly don't play that much anymore. I used to play it a lot during like COVID times, and then I just kind of stopped. How the fuck is he running his king out?
Close your eyes. Come to me. Feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out.
Close to you.
I
Feel good.
'cause I just know
In case he does this and has to set up a battery, just prevent that.
feel alright. I feel good. Just walk your step with me, dance with me, hearing me feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. To make a groove all night.
I should have gone here. That was a bad choice. Oh, you bitch.
Feel alright.
Checkmate.
I feel good.
Oh, I fucked up. I fucked that up so bad. This is so cringe.
Feel
Alright. Alright. Alright, good game. Alright, let's go. Are you gonna take the pawn on e3? E3, that was I think that was protected, no? Alright, let's go. Chapter 9, Magazine. Fuck you. Alright. Alright. As the night settled in, Lumion finished dealing with his neighbors who had come to borrow the oven. What the fuck? He had made his way up to the second floor, entering the room that served as Roar's study. Your bishop was protecting it? Was it? I don't know. In Cordu, many folks were destitute and couldn't afford their own ovens or stoves. When they needed to toast bread or smoke meat, they had to borrow it from others to use it on the spot. Aurora had always been lenient and accommodating when it came to this. Anyone could borrow her oven, but they had to pay the fuel costs or bring their own coal or wood. Currently, she had donned her white silk nightdress and curled up in a reclining chair, her sole focus on the book she held under the bright, battery-powered lamp. Lumion didn't wish to disturb her, so he nonchalantly pulled out a thinner book from the bookshelf and took a seat. Hidden Veil? What kind of magazine is this? Lumion pondered, gazing at the cover. He swiftly flipped through the pages. The more he read, the more he was taken aback. This magazine delved into the very existence of the human soul. It discussed how all beings had a spirit, and through secret methods of communication between different spirits, one could obtain various kinds of aid. Even if one wasn't devout, even if they only attended the EBS Cathedral to pray and partake in Mass occasionally, two words couldn't help but flash through Lumion's mind. Sacrilege. Taboo. As a warlock who would undoubtedly be burned at the stake by the Inquisition if her true identity was exposed, it was customary for Aurora to have such books at her residence. However, Lumion could tell that this magazine had received the government's permission to be publicated. Could such a thing be openly published? Didn't they say that publication censorship had always been quite strict? Or is this a fake permit? Lumion looked up at Aurora and inquired, is this a prohibited magazine? Aurora took her eyes off the book and glanced at her brother. In the past, it was an underground fiction. Later on, for some reason, it cleared the censors and was published. The EBS Church actually didn't care and tacitly agreed. Fiction? Of course it's fiction. You're not taking it seriously, are you? Aurora laughed. Even if what is true, do you think it can still be published? If what is written is true, do you think it could still be published? If you followed the method written within, other than making yourself mentally weak and neurotic, there won't be any gains. Yes, there will occasionally be something that is real, but without the corresponding ritualistic language, it'll be a waste of effort. DSV, how's it going, man? This was the professional evaluation of a warlock. Alright, Lumion couldn't help but hide his disappointment. I just find it strange that this can be published. Kami, how's it going, man? I don't know why either. Perhaps it's because the world has been seeing an influx of supernatural events recently, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to conceal. The public is becoming more and more aware of their existence, and the government is slowly easing its grip on such topics. That's why books like these are always being published. Interior, Psychic, and Lotus, and Arcane are the most popular magazines. I have them all on my bookshelf. If you want to come up with more realistic stories for the tavern, you should give them a read. Oui, Lumion said. His interest piqued. Simultaneously, he let out a wistful sigh in his heart. Aurora's hoard of books was truly impressive and diverse. I think there's a music change. Aw, thanks, Kami. My man coming in clutch right away. Dr. Z, you should go see a doctor. From what I understand, you're unwell. What are you talking about? Thanks to these tomes and Aurora's occasional elucidations, Lumion, a lad who had forsaken his schooling, had managed to acquire a comprehensive understanding of the world, a continent, and the nation he called home. The world was divided into two great continents, one to the north and one to the south, separated by the treacherous Berserk Sea. Oh, so in this sense it could be read first. Okay, because I remember someone telling me that COI and Lord of the Mysteries could be read interchangeably, like first or second. But like, okay, because it'll tell you basic stuff like this, even if you haven't read Lord of the Mysteries. Where raging hurricanes battered any who dared sail its waters, but the most mysterious land lay to the east and west. On the legendary eastern and western continent, no one had ever set foot there, and some wondered if it even existed at all. Where was Alger going? Wasn't he going to the eastern continent? Lumion and Aurora lived in Intes, a land situated in the heart of the northern continent, a nation bordered by the Fog Sea to the west, the Faesac Empire to the north, and the Hornacis mountain range and Lone Kingdom to the east. To the south lay the Fainapotter Kingdom, Lenberg, and Mason. Oh, western? Oh, thank you. When Lumion goes to sleep? Okay, thanks, Kami. What am I putting on, just so I know? The small countries nestled between the Fainapotter Kingdom and the Lone Kingdom, such as Seagar, together with Lenberg and Mason, were collectively known as the countries of the southern central region. They shared a common faith in the god of knowledge and wisdom. The southern continent had already fallen under the domain of the various powers of the northern kingdom. Northern continent, rather. Whether it was the Balam Empire, the Paz Kingdom, or the Haganti Kingdom, any of the other nations, they had all but lost their autonomy. Yet still, a fierce resistance against colonization burned in the hearts of those conquered. In addition to the Berserk Sea dividing the northern and southern continent, there were other great seas. Fog Sea to the west, the Sonya Sea to the east of the Lone Kingdom, the North Sea to the north of the Faesac Empire, and the Polar Sea to the south of the southern continent. They were collectively known as the Five Seas. Of all the nations of the northern continent, the Lone Kingdom was the strongest, and the Intis Republic close behind. The Faesac Empire, defeated in the last war, had fallen to 4th place, Fainapotter risen to the 3rd, and among the countries, Lenberg reigned supreme among the south-central region. Compared to the simple folk in Cordu who knew only of the Intis Republic, Fainapotter Kingdom and Lenberg, Lumion was practically a cartographer. It was no surprise, really, considering the Cordu village shepherds had only travelled to their neighbouring kingdoms of Fenapotter and Lenberg. They only had a limited understanding of these lands. The people in the northern villages of the Dariejli region were just as provincial. Other than the surrounding settlements, they could only name Trier, Suhit, and a few other metropolitans. Lumion was baffled. How did Aurora come by such vast knowledge? Bro, can't you tell? She's a witch. And speaking of witches... You know what we do to witches, right, guys? All the textbooks he read were penned by Aurora. All of his practice exams were prepared by her. Aurora had an answer for every question in the books he read. But what stunned him even more was her expertise in various forms of combat. It was simply mind-boggling that a woman in her 20s could accumulate so much knowledge. Some people couldn't amass that much knowledge even after living 50 or 60 years. Could it be that these are the true building blocks of a true warlock? Lumion looked up and gazed at Aurora. Okay, yeah, but there's no manga named Burn the Warlock, viewer. What do you want from me? Could it be that these... no. As Aurora patted her cheeks while reading, she hardly seemed like a scholar or a warlock. Yeah, but couldn't it be that she's actually a lot older? Because, like, if she's a Beyonder who has... But I guess to get lengthened lifespan, she would need to be like a demigod at the very least, and she doesn't seem that strong. So no, she couldn't be a demigod, so I guess she has to be in her 20s. Okay. Aurora caught Lumion's gaze and demanded, "What are you ogling at?" Lumion changed the subject. "Last time you mentioned that I possessed the knowledge required to pass the college entrance exam. In theory, you could gain an admission to any university, but since I never took that particular exam, I can't say for certain what questions will be asked." Roselle sure did a number on the populace. Ugh, I guess it's a good thing. Because Burn the Witch has a different meaning also. Sanguine have long lifespan? Oh, true. Alright, bye viewer, thanks for popping by, man. Undoubtedly, Roselle's reign spawned the college entrance exams, which remained a fixture of academic life to this day. Aurora's mind suddenly shifted. She shot a glance at Lumion and inquired, "Why do you not make your usual stop at the tavern to regale the patrons today?" "Bug, how's it going, man?" "I'm not an alcoholic," Lumion replied. "Reading at home is equally enjoyable, and it helps to calm my nerves," Lumion added. Aurora nodded silently and glanced over at Lumion's spot in the corner of the room. "Why are you sitting so far away, putting on an act of pitifulness, weakness, and helplessness? Come closer, you need proper lighting to read at night, or your eyes will suffer." Aurora sure had a way with words, Lumion mused. Although I understand what she means by pitifulness, it's still an odd combination. Pitifulness, weakness, and helpfulness. It's still an odd combination. Supposedly used to her idiosyncrasies by now, Lumion retrieved a chair and sat closer to where Aurora was. The two spent the evening reading in silence, occasionally talking, as the sound of their breathing mingled and the rustling of the pages and the soft breeze that wafted in from the window, peaceful and soothing. As he bid Aurora goodnight, Lumion slipped into his quarters. He peeled off his coat and draped it over the back of his chair. He couldn't risk bringing the wand card to bed with him. That would only raise suspicion, and his sister swore to keep a watchful eye on him at all times. Yeah, but what if you put that bis underneath your pillow or whatever that allows you to, like, navigate the dream? Because if it was close, it was in your room at all. Can't I get whatever I want? Oh, I see. Okay, thanks, Kami. And sorry, what am I putting on? If it allowed you to lucid dream just being in the room, imagine what it could do if it was under your pillow, bro. Just as he was about to approach the bed, Lumion froze, his eyes darting around the room as he adjusted the chair that was equally positioned at a diagonal angle to the face of the window. I'll send a chat. Thanks, Kami. Then he crawled into bed and extinguished the kerosene lamp resting on the cabinet next to him. As he drifted off into the depths of the slumber, Lumion was startled awake. The bedroom was shrouded in a dense grey fog. Lumion, who was mentally prepared, took in his surroundings and realized the chair that he had meticulously arranged before retiring for the night was still positioned at an angle in his dream, just as it had been in reality, suggesting that the dream he had entered was not an exact reflection of reality, perhaps a manifestation of his subconscious desires. Although Lumion couldn't decipher its meaning, he knew it was something to remember. He walked over to the window, placed his hands on the sill, and gazed out. The mountain of the brownish-red stone and the reddish-brown soil and the collapsed buildings that surrounded it were still present. The eerie silence of the place was deafening. Time quickly passed, and after much contemplation, Lumion made a firm decision. He would embark on a preliminary exploration on the area tonight. His past life on the streets had turned him into a man of action. He didn't rush down, however. Instead, he opened the cabinet and began to pile on clothes. He didn't need them to keep warm, but increase his defensive stat. He grabbed a cotton shirt, cotton pants, leather jacket, stretching his body to feel the fit. Any more clothing would only hinder his agility. He then adjusted to his current state and had a dream. This is my dream. Can't I get whatever I want? Let me switch music. Thank you so much, Conley. Ah, goodie. An oldie but a goodie. With that intention, he muttered to himself, I want a breastplate and a revolver. I want a breastplate and a revolver. The room was still shrouded in a thin grey fog. This won't do. This dream is special, and his disappointment was palatable. And he quickly regained his composure and made his way to the bedroom door. Stepping out into the corridor, he found himself in a complete darkness. It was murky and dim. Lumion pushed open the door to Aurora's bedroom, and then her study. The layout was slightly different from reality, but he recognized it immediately. The biggest difference, of course, was that Aurora was nowhere to be found. The entire scene was frozen in shades of grey. The first floor was silent. Lumion scanned his surroundings, searching for a weapon to defend himself. He knew his home better than anyone else and found two options. One, a 2-meter-long fork made of steel. Aurora said that it was effective and outstanding as long as the target didn't have a long-range weapon. The second, a sharp, iron-black axe. Why not both? Lumion thought. Lumion couldn't help but think of Aurora's oft-repeated phrase. Today was all about reconnaissance. He needed to be sly and hidden. Lugging around a cumbersome weapon would only hinder his movement. Lumion stooped down and got the axe. He rose to his full height and set off to the door, barely visible in the misty haze. With a deft hand, he opened the door, not making a sound. In the double-digit chapters, let's go! Good night, Zaza. As Lumion stepped out the door, he felt as though he was transported to another world. Before him no longer lay the familiar Cordu, but a dark red mountain peak and a collapsed building surrounding it, together forming a strange ruin. The fog in the sky was thick and pale, making it difficult for light to enter. The ground was shattered and there were many rocks. Lumion gripped his axe tightly and inched forward, his heart pounding in his chest. Although he couldn't find a place to hide. There were no weeds or trees. Lumion walked in fear, his every sense on high alert. All he could do was hunch his back and comfort himself. At the very least, if there was any danger in this area, it would be obvious at a glance. He could discover it in advance. Finally, he arrived at the ruins, a half-collapsed building that had been wrecked by fire. Lumion surveyed the area for a moment and tentatively confirmed there were no other creatures lurking about. Satisfied with his assessment, he cautiously made his way in the building. being mindful of the charred wood that could fall at any moment from midair. As he searched the room, his eyes landed on a broken pot in the corner. There was a hint of gold shining through the cracks. Lumion approached it slowly and realized it was a gold coin. This makes me think of the 5 gold coins that Klein had that were like tainted by the aura of Sephira Castle. Again, I don't know if this is Klein, but I feel like it should be. The tarot card, the mist, everything seems to point, the grey fog, everything seems to point to Klein. But he gave away those 5 coins, right? Sharon got one, I don't know, I can't remember. I think Sharon got one and I don't know who got the others. The patterns on the coin were revealed. Could it be true? There's actually treasure in the ruins of my dream? The coin featured a man's portrait carved in the front. His hair was thin and his face was thin and his hair parted 30-70. There was a mustache on his lip and his gaze was rather firm. On the back was a hunch of sweet iris flowers surrounding the number 20. Face was thin, hair was parted, mustache. Roselle? Lumion recognized the man and depicted on the coin, none other than the first president of the Intis Republic, Lavina. Lavinik? I don't know. Or was it Louis d'Or? Lumion thought. Firstly, he couldn't believe that the currency in this strange dream was actually the currency of the Intis Republic, and secondly, he casually picked up something as valuable as a Louis d'Or. He knew that in the present day, the legal currencies of the Intis Republic were Vril d'Or and Kopay. 1 Vril d'Or was equivalent to 100 Kopay. Okay, I guess Cuttlefish clearly learned from himself, because this is a much more fucking reasonable motherfucking currency system than like 1 for 5 for 14 or some bullshit. Like, that shit was so cringe. Kopay existed in the form of copper coins and silver coins. The copper coins were divided into 3 categories: 1 Kopay, 5 Kopay, 10 Kopay, while the silver were denominated by 20 and 50. I know it was for the Black Emperor ritual. I know, Kami. I know. I remember. Vril d'Or could be found in the form of silver coins, gold coins, or bank coins. It's just the old British system. Unfortunately, that is true. In the silver coins, there was a denomination of 1, 5, 10 Vril d'Or, while the gold coins came in 5, 10, 20, 40, and 50 denomination. The denomination of banknotes were even more varied, ranging from 5, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500, and 1,000 Vril d'Or. In reality, the people of Intes still clung to the old currency units. The most widely used were 5 Kopay copper coins were known as Lick. Similarly, 20 gold coins were worth 20 Vril, were commonly referred to as Louis d'Or. I don't know if would it be d'Or or d'Or? I don't know. In the old currency era, Louis d'Or had been known as Roselle. After the Republic was established, the name change to Louis d'Or was to erase the Emperor Roselle's influence. As Lumion understood, like d'Or? Okay, cool. Thank you. Even in the rural area of Cordoue, as Louis d'Or could sustain a poor family with fields for an entire month. He knew that without Aurore's high income, he might have never been able to see what a Louis d'Or looked like. In fact, in the entire village of Cordoue, only the siblings and the family of the administrators had ever seen or owned a Louis d'Or. To any villager, this Louis d'Or was an incredible, valuable gain. But this is just a dream, Lumion thought. This was something ordinary, making it unlikely he could bring it to the real world. But even so, he handled the Louis d'Or with great care and respect. Having spent much of his life wandering, he knew the value of every Kopay. He knew that for 1 Louis d'Or was equivalent to 2,000 Kopay, which was equal to 1 gold coin in the Lone Kingdom. Though slightly less. According to the papers he read, 24 Vril d'Or could be exchanged for 1 gold pound. Wow, you're poor, bro. I remember back in our brokey days, before Klein got rich as fuck. Don't worry, your time will come too, child. Don't you worry. Khaled, how's it going, man? Lumion continued his search for any written information that could shed light on the ruins and their history. He wanted to see if this place corresponded to a certain location in reality, and whether the village in the Intus Republic had been transported to the real world. The appearance of the Louis door had only fueled his curiosity. Klein never got rich? What are we calling our fourth persona? I'm so curious. Or, yeah, I'll say fourth persona. Dwayne Dantes wasn't a rich boy? Did we not have an entire arc called Gambling God Dwayne? Am I making that up, Kami? Answer that, you fuck. His pupils dilated as he made a guess. Immediately after... Wait, no, hold on. As Lumion moved through the ruined building, his eyes fell upon a spot where the stove once stood, now dyed a dark red. Blood? His eyes dilated as he made a guess. Immediately after, he made a judgment. Although it wasn't fresh, it hadn't yet turned black. It looked as though it had just dripped there 2 or 3 days prior, or perhaps even more recently. Bruce Wayne, actually. As his heart began to race, Lumion felt the light around him dim. It was as if something had silently blocked the path, filtering through the dense fog from above. Still favorite persona. He got lent money from the higher-ups to lose, and was always on the brink of bankruptcy while he was doing. The brink of bankruptcy? Having like £4,000 to your name is bankruptcy now? Are we just... We're just saying shit at this point, right? His heart began... No. The memory of the past attacks flooded Lumion's mind like a turbulent wave, causing him to react instinctively. Without a thought. He lunged forward and wrapped his body in midair, rolling on the ground to avoid any danger. A loud thump echoed through the air as though something heavy fell behind him. Lumion quickly rolled to his left side of the dilapidated stove, using a nearby rock to leverage himself around. He said he had to hunt pirates to keep up his rich guy act. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, Mark Zuckerberg isn't actually rich. He still has to be like a CEO to keep up his rich guy act. What are we talking about? Just because someone has a job doesn't mean they're not rich. What? What is this argument? Lumion quickly rolled to the left side of the stove. Oh, nope. As he rose to his feet, axe at the ready, he saw an additional figure standing where he was just moments ago. The dim light made it hard to determine if it was a human or some kind of humanoid creature. The figure hunched in front of Lumion that was unlike anything he had ever seen. A monster with no clothes or shoes to speak of. Its skin had been peeled off, revealing red muscles, blood vessels, and yellowed fascia underneath. What is fascia? Fascia. The thin casing of connective tissues that surround and hold every organ. I see. Nah, bro, he can't just lie down and get money rolling in so he ain't rich. He literally could, though. He literally could. If he just invested that money and didn't need to, like, go be a fucking demigod or shit, he could just live off the dividends and do nothing. We're just lying, Kami. What are we talking about, bro? It was a monster. Its eyes seemed to be embedded in its face, and its mouth hung open with all its might, revealing an uneven set of teeth. Despite all the ghost stories Lumion had seen, he never expected to encounter such an evil spirit in real life. Well, you're dreaming, so I wouldn't really call it real life, but sure. The stench of blood filled Lumion's nostrils as the panting of the monster filled his ears. Kami, think about what Kana just said. Think about that. You want to be like that? Consider the company you wish to keep, young man. Instincts took over as Lumion dodged to his side, narrowly avoiding the monster's attack. Lumion knew that he had Aurora's guidance and years of experience fighting on the streets to thank for his quick reflexes. Without them, he wouldn't have been able to react in time. Taking a deep breath, Lumion charged at the monster that had just pounced. With his sharp axe in hand, he swung with all his might and struck the monster in the back. Lumion's axe felled the monster mid-turn, sending a spray of pus and blood in every direction. Without a hesitation, Lumion knelt down on one knee and raised the axe again, ready to strike another blow. Bang! 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 Again and again and again, Lumion swung the axe with precision and force. Each strike slicing through the monster's flesh and leaving deep, wide cracks on the back of its head, neck, and back. Finally, the monster lay still, defeated by Lumion's fierce barrage of blows. You don't act as terrifying as you look, Lumion heaved a sigh of relief. He wiped his face with his left hand and then used it to wipe off the blood on the other. Is this monster's bodily fluid poisonous? For the time being, there's no pain if the fluid's eating at me. Just as Lumion mustered up the courage and he was about to search the monster's body, he was caught off guard by a sudden movement. The skinless, blood-colored monster propped itself up again. It isn't dead? Despite being slashed to such a state, it seemed it was still alive. Lumion was shocked and afraid. Fear and trepidation took hold of Lumion. If Lumion had been facing normal humans, beasts, or monsters, he wouldn't have been so afraid, even if he couldn't beat them. But this monster in front of him seemed unkillable, rendering Lumion's every move useless. Taking advantage of the monster's brief disorientation, he made a decision, propped himself to his feet, and ran wildly. Ah! He ran with all his might, but he could feel the monster's breath on the back of his neck, and the sound of its heavy breathing echoing in its ears. Good night, Khaled. Good luck on your exams, buddy. Queen's finished, Lord of the Mysteries coming. Lumion finally reached his subterranean. To his delight, he realized that the distance between the two was no longer shortening. Despite his fear, Lumion ran even faster. Lumion finally reached his subterranean two-story building as he pulled open the door and jumped inside. With a loud clang, he slammed the door shut and quickly made his way to the stove, where he picked up a steel fork leaning against the wall and focused on the door. But then he heard the sound of the monster's running footsteps fading away. He waited, but the monster didn't try to slam through the door. It knows that I'm lying in ambush here? Lumion couldn't believe the monster had such intelligence. He slowly moved towards the window near the door and peeked out. Suddenly, a face appeared on the glass, a bloody, skinless mess. Lumion froze, his heart almost stopping. To surprise Lumion, the monster didn't break through the glass or attack him, it simply met its gaze. Lumion snapped out of its daze and retreated, brandishing the long fork. The monster left the window. Lumion watched cautiously, observing its movements as it lingered in the light fog, before finally retreating. Lumion was at a loss. He had prepared to trap the monster and make a quick escape, but the creature had simply left. After some thought, a possibility occurred. The monster is afraid? Yeah, there's no damage to the house at all. In the dream, this is an absolutely safe place. With this realization, Lumion felt a sense of relief wash over him. He was then hit with a wave of exhaustion in the next moment. A short chase had taken more out of him than the entire afternoon of combat training. Lumion made his way upstairs to his bedroom, clutching the pitchfork and axe tightly in his hand. As he lay on his bed, he attempted to fall asleep. Lumion opened his eyes, feeling distorted and groggy. Outside the curtains, it was still dark, and the room was shrouded in darkness. For a moment, Lumion couldn't believe if he was still in his dream world. Game on easy mode, actually. For a moment, Lumion couldn't tell if he was in the dream world or had woken up, but then he noticed the lack of the grey fog and that he was wearing his pajamas, and realized he must have woken up. I woke up because of the fright, Lumion muttered, patting the pockets of his pajamas. He didn't feel the weight of the Louis door, and felt a pang of disappointment. It confirmed another fact, that money couldn't be brought out of the dream world. Klein, why do you do this to us? Lumion took a deep breath and composed himself. How was he supposed to deal with that monster? While Lumion knew that he could bypass the area and enter stealthily, he also knew this was not a long-term solution. The possibility of encountering similar monsters in the future was always there, and he couldn't afford to be unprepared. Alright, by when do we assume Lumion becomes Beyonder? I'm gonna assume similar pace to Lord of the Mysteries, like chapter 30 something. I think Klein became sequence 9 like chapter 37, 34, something like that. So I think it'll be similar pacing around here. Maybe it's a little slower even. I know so far it's been going a lot quicker, but I feel like maybe because he's already kind of aware of this world, Cuttlefish decides to take this part a little bit slower. I don't know. Ooh. This is actually the whole story POV of a normal guy in the apocalypse, trust? The azure sky was speckled with white fluffy clouds. COI kind of peaked in Volume 1. Well, we will see. We will see. I shall give no word until the time is right. Thank you, thank you. Don't spoil. Cal Kestis? What? Go save the galaxy, bro. What is your asshole doing over here? The Empire is still cooking. Lord Vader still awaits, and he has a health bar now. Go get him. The azure sky was speckled with white fluffy clouds, gently blown by the spring breeze that carried with it the fragrance of the forest. White geese pecked at the lush grasses, grazing at the meandering river. A lass, draped in greyish-white frock, stood intently observing them with a long pole in her hand. Like, Klein prayed to EBS blood and not caring, but Lumion doesn't dare read a normal magazine thinking it's blasphemy. Yeah, like, I like the fact that they're so different. It's good. I don't want just, like, the same story again. I want someone who's, like, diametrically different. Which Lumion seems to be. You know, Klein is so reserved and, like, and, like, so thoughtful, whereas Lumion is like, get fucked, loser. Well, shit'll probably work out. Let's fucking go. Sorry, 1 second, guys. And this way. Aw, thanks, Chris. You're goated too, buddy. Love you guys. Alright. Her countenance was bathed in a golden sun rays, exposing her thin, downy hair. The girl's brown tresses elegantly tied in a white cloth and revealed her youthful and lively features. Don't pay the taxes, Wiz? What? Eh? Are we not here to discuss which legend is... wait. Glancing at Lumion sitting under a tree by the river, Ava Lizier was scrunch her face. Are we not here to discuss which legend is easier to investigate? Why have you turned into a stone statue reminiscent of ones from the cathedral? Ava was the daughter of Guillaume Lizier, the shoemaker. Being one of the few youths in the village, she had an amiable relationship with Lumion and Raymond. I'm contemplating a problem, Lumion responded. What problem? Inquired Raymond. What if you come across a beast with a thick hide that your weapon cannot pierce? What do you do? Yeah, exactly, Bones. That's the... I don't know why YouTube's done this. I can't believe they've done this. But, yeah. Yeah, so, like, most people I can still... but, like, some people I can't, like, because their usernames are completely different. It's like, I forget. Obviously, I'd find a way to run away. The mountains are teeming with wild beasts. We need not hunt it, Ava replied. What if that beast is exceptionally rare, and the lords in the city adore it, and are willing to pay 100 louis d'or for its carcass? 100 louis d'or? 2,000 vril d'or? Raymond said. Raymond had never seen a louis d'or, nor had he used one. His instinct was to convert it to vril d'or first. Oh, that's so cooked, DSP. With such a hefty sum, he could start a business in Darriage and wouldn't have to fret over shepherding. He quickly thought, borrow a shotgun? The beast's skin cannot be penetrated. Even though she knew the prey was a figment of imagination with no value in the real world, she couldn't help herself. Is it a powerful creature? Fierce? About as fierce as me. Easy! How's it going, man? So far so good, man. So far so good. I think no, it's all good. There's nothing on screen. It should be fine. So I really like it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a nice change of pace. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but it's like a nice change of pace. It doesn't feel like my biggest concern was like that COI was going to end up being very similar to Lord of the Mysteries, if that makes it. Like, I like Lord of the Mysteries, but for sequels, I prefer there to be like a substantial change, if that makes any sense. And that exists, so I kind of appreciate that. So I think you'll like it. I like it. I was on time. I'd said, I don't know. Ask DSV. I think he's the one, or ask Kami. I think he's the one who timed you out. I think. And like, I like different in my sequels. You know, I don't want that shit to just feel like I'm just reading like a next chapter of the same one. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Oh, by the way, sorry, Easy, before you go, did you title on screen? Blood is a spoiler, really? The word blood is a spoiler? Are we on crack? Is Easy fucking Sherlock Holmes in this scenario and he can like figure out shit even I don't understand? What are we talking about? Oh, Madame Polly, sorry. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh, sorry. That was the last chapter name. Luca, my bad. Easy, did you watch the race this morning? Oh, that shit was so goated, bro. That shit was so goated. What the fuck? Oh my god, I don't know if you missed it, but oh, that shit was so goated. Oh, Max, my boy. What a G. Oh, it's so good, dude. You should be in the race. Oh yeah, this will be so good. Abu Dhabi next weekend. It all comes down to one race. God, if Max pulls this off, he's actually the fucking GOAT for real. All right, I'll let you go, buddy. I don't want people to keep yelling at you, but oh, that's just gonna be so fucking fun next weekend. Easy will love COI. I think so too. Alright. I'm gonna wait one more second just in case Easy's still here and then we'll start, okay? Alright, I'm gonna start now. If Easy's still here, it's on him. It's about as fierce as me, Lumion said. That was all the assurance he needed. Raymond, who had been holding his breath, let out a sigh of relief. Good, go back to the village and round up some people. Surround the beast and drain its strength. Once it's down, we'll tie it up. He knew Lumion could fight, but that was all. What do you mean? We're on the right chapter. Chapter 11. He knew that Lumion could fight, but that was all. In that case, we can only expect to get 10 louis d'or for it, or even less. I've seen them hunt before, Ava said. Maybe we can dig a trap and make it fall, that way we won't have to worry about it. That's actually a really good idea, Lumion said, realizing that Ava and Raymond had little to offer. Lumion took control. Which legend should we target next, he asked. Neither of them fit the bill. They're either centuries old, were only seen by one person, who is long dead. Sorry, Lumion. The preview I get from YouTube of the stream is like always like 20 minutes behind or something. I don't know why it does this. These freaky madams, man. Don't threaten me with a good time, Cal. Raymond agreed. That's right. If you don't ask the right questions, how would you know there ain't no clues? Lumion clicked his tongue and chuckled. You lot don't have any grit. If you want to give up at the first sign of trouble, you might as well be tending geese and sheep for the rest of your days. Ava and Raymond were fuming at those words. When it came to riling people up, Lumion was the best. I don't think any of them are suitable because there are more suitable ones, Ava said. What? As soon as Ava spoke up, she regretted it, but she had been planning to bring it up anyway. She just didn't want to reveal it to Lumion and Raymond so easily. There's a real witch in the village, she said. Who is it? Are they talking about Aurora? If Ava found out that Aurora was a warlock, he and Aurora would have to flee Cordu and live somewhere else to avoid the Inquisition's wrath. Madame Polly, Ava said. Madame Polly? The administrator's wife and the Padre's mistress? Are you serious? If Polly was indeed a witch, how could Lumion have missed it when he found out about the lady's affair? No way, Raymond said. Ava tiptoed and looked in the direction of the village entrance. I'm not certain, but Charlie, the administrator's valet, once let it slip. He said that Madame Polly is a soul messenger who can talk to the dead and help them return home. He also said that she can create secret medicine and charms. Soul messenger makes me think someone in the death pathway. What was what was Madame Daly in like volume 1? She was Soul Assurer, I think, and then Spirit Warlock later. Might be Spirit Medium. You're right. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong pathway. You're right. Yeah, Spirit Medium. And then Spirit Guide later. So she might be that. Oh, the plot thickens. But then she can also create secret medicines and charms. I don't know about medicines. Charms would work. But medicines. Medicine makes me immediately go like... sanguine. But that doesn't make any sense. Lumion listened, but remained skeptical. With magazines such as Psychic Lotus and Hidden Veil flooding the market, it wasn't uncommon for the administrator's wife to be familiar with such terms and trick the servants. Apothecary, yep. We should go to the cathedral and snitch, said Raymond. If Charlie knows that Madame Polly is a witch, then the administrator should know too, right? Lumion said. Oui, Ava agreed. Madame Polly is the Padre's mistress. If we go to the church to snitch on her, we'll probably be sent to the administrator. What? Madame Polly is the Padre's mistress? Ava and Raymond were shocked. I saw it with my own eyes, Lumion said. Just pretend you don't know. Don't tell anyone, or you might disappear. Ava and Raymond agreed in unison. Their expressions remained solemn. If we can confirm that Madame Polly is a witch, we can go to Dairy Edge and tell the bishop at Mass. Oui, Raymond said. They had to be sure before they snitch, or they'd end up in trouble. After discussing these matters, Lumion, who didn't wish to waste any time, stood up and said to Ava and Raymond, I'm off. Back to my studies, otherwise Aurora will be chasing me with a stick. You two take care of the geese. Alright, Raymond was thrilled at the prospect of being alone with Ava. Ava, on the other hand, was quite displeased. Damn, brother. She's for the streets. Don't worry about her, Raymond. Focus on yourself. I'm sorry. As Lumion approached Cordu, he began to hide his tracks, paying attention to see if there was anyone nearby. He had to be careful, especially now that the Padre and his crew were on his trail. According to his observations, the Padre, Guillaume Benet, was not one to forgive easily. He made his way to the old tavern and trying to stay as inconspicuous as possible. Lumion x Ava? No. Trust. Lumion x Fours, okay? Trust. That is the path. Fours is into younger men, I'm telling you. Padre and Lone, always late. Padre and Intest, based. Suddenly, he heard the sound of bells ringing in the distance. Force is not a PETA. How old is Lumion? Sorry? I don't actually know. Oh fuck! Dude, I'm so good. I was gonna search up Lumion in on Google, then I was like, oh no, you definitely can't do that. Lumion is of age. Fan is trying to sell me on this. Oh. Listen, it has been said, okay? Fan said it. He's of age. It doesn't count. Force, you go with God, my friend. Lumion turned to see Ryan, Leia, and Valentine approaching Naroka and the others. The bells on Leia's veil and boots rang clearly. They'd been wandering around the village for 2 days, chatting with people and asking questions? What are they up to? As he thought about the deserted town square and the shepherd, Pierre Barry, who had returned to the village unexpectedly, Lumion knew something was about to happen. He needed to speak to Aurora, his knowledgeable and smart sister, and get her opinion. Old British lazy author... That's a crazy sentence, DSV. As he thought about it, the deserted town square... Nope. Lumion managed to sneak into the old tavern and spot the lady who had given him the tarot card. Lumion leaned over and took a glance. Omelette au lard? Don't you find it a little too cloying? In Derryedge, this dish was the go-to for ordinary folk to impress their fancy guests. Lumion, however, had doubts about it being too greasy and heavy for city women. The lady savored a slow bite of the golden omelette and shut her eyes. It's a real gem. It's got this local flavor that's quite exquisite. You're having lunch quite early? Lumion asked. It's breakfast, the lady said. What time is it? Lumion didn't dare let his thoughts slip. He scanned the nearly empty tavern and hushed his voice. I saw a ruin in my dreams and came across a monster. Oh? The lady didn't bat an eye. Her expression even held a hint of teasing mischief. How do I vanquish the monster? Is it dead or alive? The lady beamed. It's still kicking. I can't seem to kill it. I can feel it breathing, so it's gotta be alive. If it's breathing, then try harder. Lop off its head or pour oil and light it up. Bury it. Who knows? It might just kick the bucket. When you've exhausted all options and come short, then come to me. But I'm not your nanny who'll coddle you. If you wish to learn, figure it out. He's quite the charmer, huh? Lumion wasn't crestfallen or despaired. It seemed the lady was hinting that she'd lend a hand if things truly got dire. Actually, she's like, parry this, you fucking casual. Get it together. But what's trivial can be a real headache. Lumion felt a migraine coming on. He resolved to heed the lady's advice. He'd start by trying to behead it, burn it, and bury it, and anything else he could think of. Let's try to go to 15 today if that works for you guys. And it's 4 more chapters. It should get us to about 3, I think. La lumière. I'm rereading COI 2. Oh, nice. We're reading a story that has like a lot of French. Listen to a French song. Holy shit, there's too much French. Holy shit, I gotta switch. What did we listen to instead of Lies of P way back in the day? You know what? Let's go. We're switching it. I need a change of pace, okay? It's too much French. And my 2 mods are French. As Lumion left the old tavern, he resumed his what the fuck is this word? Excuse me?
surreptitious.
Surreptitious ways. Do I have a problem with the French? No more so than anyone else, Kami. I specifically have a problem with the Quebecois, but I mean, you guys are... From my understanding, you guys don't like them in France either, so that's, I mean... Sure enough, he spotted one of Ponce Benet's goons hiding behind a tree, spying on a passerby. The Padre just didn't know when to quit. But Lumion couldn't retaliate. His personal abilities were quite limited, and he couldn't risk bringing attention from the Church of EBS in the Darriège region. The Inquisition would be all over him in a heartbeat, which could spell doom for Aurore. Unless Lumion was pushed to the brink and had no choice but to abandon the town, his only option was to expose the Padre's unsavory activities and force him to retire. But that was easier said than done. Lumion needed to be careful and cunning, just like when he let the foreigners discover the Padre's affair. Lumion didn't want to make a big fuss of it. He knew that Beost, the administrator and the territorial judge, was a stickler for his reputation. If Lumion brought Madame Polly's predicament to light, he wouldn't get any favors. No, it would be quite likely that Beost would turn on him. He would leave Lumion with a little choice but to leave Cordoue. Both the Padre and the administrator hot on his heels, so he had to proceed with caution. Taking a detour, he weaved through alleys between homes. Along the way, Lumion relied on his wits and surroundings to conceal himself, ducking, slipping, and taking refuge behind trees when he could. As he neared the end of the alley, he heard voices. "Guillaume, why are we wasting time chasing that kid all day? Let's go to Aurore's home tonight and catch him. We have the advantage of numbers, and Aurore's fighting skills aren't enough to stop us all. We may even get reinforcements from the city if needed." "Guillaume, the Padre's here too?" Lumion stopped, retreating to eavesdrop. "Surely you don't think that's the extent of Aurore's capabilities? I wouldn't be surprised if she has supernatural abilities beyond mine." "Ah, a witch, you say?" This is like, the accent is like German more than anything else, or like Austrian or something. "A witch, you say? Guillaume, maybe it is time for you to venture to Darriège and seek out the Inquisition. If you can catch a true witch, the Church will undoubtedly grant you a great reward, and with that, you may be able to attain the extraordinary strength we've been yearning for all these years." "Imbecile. Don't you know what's happening in this village? The Inquisition has noses like hounds. They won't overlook any abnormalities, and when the time comes, we will be in hot waters. Even if Aurore wishes to deal with us, I have other solutions. We mustn't arouse the Inquisition's attention." I can hear the German. Thank you, thank you. You have a better accent than me. Imagine Italian speaking English and yes. "It's me, Mario." Combining his observation of abnormalities, he sensed that something terrible was brewing and developing in the village, like a turbulent undercurrent. To Lumion's dismay, Ponce Benet didn't elaborate on the topic, instead focusing on something else. "Do you have a way to deal with a witch?" "You don't need to know," the Padre said. "Next, we can put aside dealing with Lumion, but we must maintain our appearance. We can't let anyone suspect my desire for revenge. That will provide the connection the foreigners need and a negative impact. What you need to do is remind each relevant person and scare those yokels who might notice. Do not let them spill the beans in front of the foreigners." "Guillaume, you mean that those foreigners are here to investigate the matter?" Ponce Benet appeared fearful and concerned. I feel like it was slightly French there. It was slightly more Frenchy than German there. "Look at you, all brawn and no brains. You're nothing like your brother. A natural-born leader," Lumion mocked. Bro, I'm not fucking doing it, viewer. Bro, it's fucking... my brother in Christ, okay? Well, how do you read it? You mean that those... what do you want me to do? You want me to read it like actual... You want me to read it like, you mean that those foreigners are here to investigate that matter? That's how you want me to talk? That's fucking stupid. No, if I'm gonna do it, might as well do it the whole fucking way. What are we talking about? god. You guys have a problem with this, you have a problem with Will's voice. You guys are just cooking me, bro. Oh my god, cringe. Mo, MT, how's it going, man? Holy shit, long time no see. Oh my god, you're actually... Fuck you, viewer. Oh my god, you cringe lord. No need to worry. As long as those foreigners don't find any real evidence, I'll still be the Padre of Cordu. Pawns, you need to understand that ruling through fear and intimidation won't lead to peace or prosperity. The church doesn't want to ruin town that can't pay taxes. We need friends and followers to maintain control. The church trusts us locals with our relatives, friends, and followers to handle matters here, and don't bring in outsiders who may make a mess. Okay, I'm off to the cathedral. Now that does sound logical and persuasive, but your wisdom and insight are limited to Dariège. Aurora told me that the church confronts villages that are overrun with evil gods. They obliterate them entirely and raze them to the ground. They don't just slay the adults, but even the children. Lumion found himself almost swayed by Guillaume Benet's words. Luckily, Aurora had warned him about the fearsome reputation of the Church of EBS and the Church of God of Steam and Machinery. Dude, can I just say, any church that has to go Church of God of... Why can't it just be Church of Steam and Machinery? What the fuck is Church of God of Steam and Machinery? Like, bro, just get rid of the God of. There's two of, okay? That's... Ew. Church of Steam and Machinery. Way better. God, this is so cringe. I've had a problem with this like forever. No, it's the Church of the Evernight. No? It's not like the Church of the Goddess of the Evernight. It's Church of the Eternal Blazing Sun, not Church of the God of the Eternal Blazing Sun. Like, that's so cringe. Aurora, clad in a pristine apron, bustling about the oven. What are you up to? Lumion inquired with curiosity. No worries, MT. I appreciate you popping by, man. You just had like finals or midterms or what's up? It's still 2 hours till lunchtime. Aurora tucked a strand of her hair behind her ears and beamed, trying out a new recipe, rice bread. We don't have to go through all this trouble. Lumion was moved to his core. He believed Aurora was going out of her way to make something special just for him. What are you thinking? Can't you be any more self-absorbed? For me, baking is a form of amusement, a great way to pass the time. Then why don't you like going out? There's plenty of fun out there, Lumion probed. He always felt that Aurora was a homebody because she was afraid of the risks of her warlock status being exposed. Church of Trissy, shut the fuck up. You mean drinking and gambling? Remember, I'm my own person, not relying or attaching onto another. Lumion grasped the first half of the sentence, but was lost at the latter. Can you expound on that? Long story short, your sis is a major introvert most of the time. What do you mean by most of the time? Humans are walking contradictions. Don't you recall? Sometimes I'm a chatterbox, eager to venture out and listen to old people's gossip. Other times I'll play with the kids and regale them with stories. Ever so often I'll cut loose and ride Madame Polly's horse around the mountains. Since Madame Polly was mentioned, Lumion decided to change the subject. Eradicate. I know. I was there when he was like, no, I think Trissy's gonna come back. And I was like, oh, little bro, that ain't happening. Aurora, Grand Soar, I heard a rumor about Madame Polly. What is it? She's a warlock who can talk to the dead. Lumion relayed to his sister what Ava had divulged. Aurora halted and listened. Her mien grew even more noticeably graver. No, I didn't. What are you talking about? Sid, I didn't skip anything. What are you talking about? She's a warlock who can talk to the dead. Lumion related to his sister what Ava had divulged. He also brought up an anomaly that he and Guillaume observed. Aurora halted her work and listened. After Lumion finished, Aurora offered him a smile and reassured, "Don't fret too much. Those foreigners must be here about something that the Padre and his comrades did in secret. It may have something to do with Madame Polly. Do not mess with her for now. I will keep an eye out. Explore the village more, mingle with those foreigners, and try to suss out what's going on." Sus? Among Us? Compared to that, the lady who gave you the wand card is far more intriguing. If things do deteriorate, we must contemplate departing Cordoue. We can start making arrangements. Okay, Lumion said. After a brief silence, he inquired, "Aurore, if we must depart, where do you envision moving to?" "Trier," she said. Why? Despite considering Trier himself, he was curious. Every Intesian coveted a chance to visit Trier. In the eyes of Triers, there were only two types of individuals in Intis, Triers and outsiders. Aurora responded, "A prophet once said, as long as Trier endures, mirth and glee will never falter." Will never falter? What the fuck is it? You might have skipped a part of it. I don't remember you reading it. Actually, you might have. I just transitioned from school to college. It's been a bit hectic. I get it, MC. No worries, man. I get it. The first year's rough. I get it. You're gonna be okay. Just hang on. It took a little while for me too, but after a while, it feels better. It's a quote from Nostradamus. I see. Thank you. Viewer, what are you fucking referring to, bro? After the rice bread? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Alright, too late now. That's the wrong one. Good lord. 2026, the world is finishing. Yes. Nope, not what I meant to do. I don't know. Alright, Kami equals, yeah, actually. Viewer is a Frenchman, confirmed. Fuck that guy. Alright, give me 2 seconds, guys. I just need to run to the washroom. Alright, we're back. Did I get another piece of pizza? Maybe. Who's asking? Once again, just because I don't want to eat while reading, just do Lexicon real quick. Okay? Bottom. Top. Surprisingly rare. Well, I don't have time to warm it up, Kami. You guys are gonna cry about, oh, he's been gone for 7 years. I just got cold pizza. Wait, DNF? What are we talking about? Viewer, what? Who DNF'd? What? 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 This time? What? For the game, man? Oh. Give me a fucking... I don't know why. I thought you meant max DNF and I was gonna shit myself. Oh, thank God. Norris DNFs? Yeah, I just... I can't see Money's messages either. What the fuck? Oh, Money, how's it going, man? Sorry, I was on top chat. For some reason, your messages weren't showing up, man. How's it going? Okay. Top rare. This has been happening? Really? Seriously? Holy fuck, dude. I didn't... Oh my God. So, I'm so sorry. I didn't see your messages at all. No, I honestly, I just didn't see your messages. I changed it to live chat. Now I can see you. How's it going? By the way, can someone fucking help me with Lexicon, bro? What the fuck is this? Yeah, Dr. Z, go get some rest. I know you feel better. Yeah, his messages aren't showing up. Like, I'm not. No, good. That's good, man. Yeah, so good. I know. I like it. I like Lumion as a MC. It's a good ship. It seems like Forge is gonna be a pretty big player this time. Where are we? We're on chapter 13 or 14, Moon. Oh. Not 13. First stream was yesterday, MT. We just started. Anomaly. Anomaly. Am I fucking... How do you... Anomaly. Oh, there we go. Top anomaly. Top win. Win anomaly. Unexpected. Unexpected win. Comeback. Trailblazer. First. Bottom top win. Underdog. Champion. Champion, underdog. Underdog anomaly. Underdog anomaly. I'm thinking something about like bets or like Odds. Odds. Ratio. Undertaker? How would that have anything to do with that? Rookie? What the fuck are we talking? Underdog unexpected. Underdog unexpected. Probability! True! Oh, fucking bitch. Bye, MT. You have a good night, buddy. Oh, good God. Probability. Underdog. Bet. Okay, probability unexpected. Surprising. Surprise. Surprise probability. Spanish Inquisition. Uncertain. Order coming in clutch. Holy shit, this was a bad loop, dude. Alright, we got there. Usurper. Okay. There are still those in the Seven Kingdom who call me usurper. It was the dead of night and all was quiet. Lumion stirred in his dream once more. The first thing he glimpsed was a faint grey mist. On impulse, he reached into his shirt pocket with his hand. The frigid sensation of cold, hard metal registered in his mind. He retrieved the object he felt, a gold coin, a louis d'or. It's still here. He donned the cotton attire, pants and leather jacket. The nearly 2-meter-long pitchfork and a sharp metal axe rested nearby. How long are you reading? We're going to read until chapter 15, Kami. Whilst closing in again? Yep. Attempt, hear me out. Okay, yeah, what's up, honey? Wasn't what Klein did that first time called an attempt? What do you mean, the first time? What are we talking about? Eh? In other words, this dream is persistent. It doesn't reset. Lumion fiddled with the louis d'or and slipped it into his cotton shirt's inner pocket. Although it couldn't be actualized, it was still a joy to have. Lumion rose from his bed and gazed out the window for a spell, ensuring the red mountain peak in the ruins hadn't changed. He hoisted his axe and pitchfork, departing from his chamber, and entered the dimly lit corridor. Aurora's bedroom and study door remained ajar. Lumion studied them briefly, having conceived an idea. In his dream, my room is practically identical to reality. It contains all the expected elements. However, can I locate Aurora's witchcraft notebook, secret potion formula, or learn how to become a warlock? This notion was akin to a devil's whisper, causing Lumion's heart to race. He was tempted to try. When he pulled people into the grey fog? I think you're right, Money. Oh, that's a good catch. But I think now this might be an attempt from the other side. It might be an attempt of someone trying to get into the Tarot Club. Whereas like Klein, because he was so at the time inexperienced, it was an attempt from his side to pull people in. This is an attempt for someone who is inexperienced to get into the Tarot Club, which is now pretty experienced. This notion was akin to a devil's whisper, causing Lumion's heart to race. Compared to exploring the unknown, hazardous, enigmatic ruins, sifting through Aurora's room was a simpler, safer option. No. Lumion shook his head. He'd rather take his chance than violate Aurora's privacy. He wouldn't venture into her bedroom without approval. This was due to his respect for her. If it wasn't for Aurora, he would have likely died as a child in the streets years ago. Lumion withdrew his pained gaze and made his way to the stairs. If the occupant of the room wasn't Aurora, he would have already delved in. Once downstairs, Lumion didn't hasten his departure. Instead, he inspected the provisions in the kitchen. This is sweet, though, him saying, like, no, like, I owe her that. I wouldn't violate her privacy. The olive oil. He inspected the provisions in the kitchen. The olive oil, corn oil, and the animal fat that Aurora had masked were neatly arranged. Almost instinctively, Lumion lifted the corn oil and positioned it near the stove. His sole reason for selecting that was that animal fat and olive oil were more expensive. Even in fucking dreams, this guy's poor. Holy shit, cringe. He then adeptly kindled a blaze in his hearth with coal and wood and fashioned a couple torches to ignite, preparing to incinerate that monster. Naturally, it would prefer if there were other options. This was a last resort. After completing these tasks, he retrieved his axe and opened the door, and observed something unusual. The faint mist had suffused, felt more humid than before. The ground under his feet felt more muddy. It rained? This place persists and develops while I'm absent? While recalling Aurora's bizarre tales, he had a notion. This can't be the real world. My dream is connected to the real world? The tarot card enabling me to traverse the barrier between dream and ruins while conscious? I'll check later. I won't venture into the ruins. I'll stroll out of the grey fog and see if it's surreal, an irrational dream after passing through the fog, or an intangible land, sky, village, and town. If it was the former, it signified this place was a dream. If it wasn't, Lumion had to confirm which world this was. He surmised that because of the usage of the Louis d'Or, this place appeared to be the Intus Republic, but it may not be the present era. It could be a location that vanished decades or centuries ago. Clever thought process. So he may be a little shit, but he is smart. However, Lumion sensed there was a high likelihood that he wouldn't be able to exit the encompassing grey fog. He gathered his thoughts and proceeded towards the ruins. He didn't forget that the purpose of entering the dream was to contend with the monster. After traversing 100 to 200 meters, he stopped. He thought of a problem. He had overlooked something. Previously, his home lacked any flames. It was quite secure in this world cloaked in grey fog, but now it had a blazing furnace that emitted light. Could it draw in a swarm of monsters, rendering the safe zone unsafe? Lumion instinctively turned his head and peered into the direction he came from. He observed that the scarlet gleam had been etched into the various glass windows at the base of the half-submerged two-story structure, akin to a beacon in a dark world. Considering that a considerable amount of time had elapsed, it was evidently too late to attempt to extinguish the fire. Lumion hesitated, hastened his pace and entered the ruins, taking refuge in the building that had crumbled due to conflagration. He clipped the axe on the back of his belt and agilely scaled a wall, concealing himself in a shadowy nook separated by bricks and timber. Lumion gazed at his home and the other sides of the wilderness. As time ticked by, he didn't witness any monsters lurked by the fire. It seemed like the fire won't trigger any changes. At the very least, my house won't be besieged by monsters, Lumion breathed. This meant that even if he encountered any peril, he could flee home. He began to contemplate how to entice and eliminate the monster. From their brief skirmish, he deduced that its strength, speed, and reaction time were similar to his, but he could sense that it fought on instinct, lacking experience or expertise. It'll also be bewildered and taken aback, not dissimilar to humans. Rather than combat techniques, I have two great advantages. I have a superior intellect, and I know how to use weapons. As long as I'm cautious, I should be able to beat it again. Just as Lumion was about to stir up some commotion to lure the monster over, he spied a figure approaching stealthily. The figure was crimson and devoid of skin. Its muscles, blood vessels, and fascia were exposed, the monster from last time. But unlike before, it held a manure fork. It knows how to wield a weapon? His confidence waned. As the monster drew closer, Lumion perceived exaggerated wounds on its back, neck, and the nape of its neck. But its fissures were no longer oozing pus, it seems to have mostly mended. Its self-healing ability is impressive. Lumion gasped. He compelled himself to compose and expeditiously assess the situation. Lumion arrived at a determination quickly. It was a prime opportunity, and he had to seize it. He retrieved a stone brick beside him and waited the monster's arrival. In just a few strides, the monster entered Lumion's kill zone. Lumion hurled the stone brick at the ground behind the monster. The brick clattered, causing the monster to swivel and assess the assailant. Upon beholding this, Lumion seized the axe with both hands and pounced at the monster. The axe descended on the monster's neck, cleaving it in two. With two twin thuds, Lumion and the monster plummeted to the ground. Lumion sprang up quickly, seized the axe and darted over. Once, twice, 3 times delivered weighty slashes to the monster's neck. The monster didn't even get a chance to resist, as its head was lopped off. As the head rolled, the skinless body convulsed. Lumion didn't stop there though. He took a step, rotated the axe, and pulverized the vicious head with its thick back, reducing it to fragments. Jesus Christ. Subsequently, he pivoted and hacked all the exposed muscles, blood vessels, and fascia, crushing the heart and the organs. Lumion then took a step back and observed. I thought you were invincible. Who would have thought you possessed so little ability? Amidst the laughter, the decapitated cadaver jolted upwards. Lumion wanted to run, but he forcibly quelled this impulse and strode forward. After the corpse bounced twice, it reverted to immobility. Lumion scrutinized it a while longer and confirmed that the monster was indeed dead. How tenacious, Lumion thought. He then leaned over and crouched down, employing his axe to pry open the muscles and fascia. The monster's bodily structure wasn't dissimilar to a human, but its muscles were more animated. Even though it was already dead, some of its incisions were still wriggling. What could this thing be? Let's go. He then, wait. There's no treasure, nor is there any supernatural power transferred onto my body. The adage that one grows stronger with each monster they slay, only existed in Aurora's tales. He then relocated the monster's corpse and headed into the ruined building and entombed them with bricks and timber. Subsequently, he scoured the burnt-down house, hoping to discover something. Different monster. Woo! Solo leveling? Sid, don't say that. People are gonna get so mad at you. After a bout of searching, Lumion stumbled upon a considerable number of gold coins, silver coins, and copper coins, a total of 197 Vril d'Or and 25 kopay. Among them, Louis d'Or alone constituted 5. As for the paper bills, he only discovered some remnants. Aside from money, he also discovered a small book. A book that had a bluish, grayish-blue cover, measured approximately 21 by 28.5 centimeters. It was based on the calendar and blended with the religious teachings of 2 major churches. It had a rather positive effect on guiding farmers and herders to farm, produce, and graze their spiritual lives. Naturally, even though it had been nearly 2 centuries since Roselle advocated compulsory education, there was still a large number of farmers, herdsmen, and workers who knew no more than a handful of words and were illiterate. They could only rely on the explanations of certain people around them to obtain the instruction they needed from the Blue Book. known as the Livre Bleu. Lumion flipped through a few pages nonchalantly and realized that the Livre Bleu was no different from his own. It had just appeared a little older overall. There's the Livre Bleu and the Vril d'Or. This family is undoubtedly well-to-do in the countryside. There are no more than 5 such families in Cordoue. Lumion discarded the Livre Bleu and the gold coins, silver coins, and copper coins into different pockets. Livre Bleu literally meaning blue book. Some were stashed deep in the cotton shirt's pocket, some were tucked into the pant pocket, some were haphazardly stuffed into the pockets of the leather jacket. Even though Lumion knew that this wealth couldn't be brought to reality, he couldn't resist collecting it. Actually, Klein's little brother. These trinkets of gold, silver, and copper were irresistible. During his days as a vagrant, he cherished every coin he came across, even if it was just a copper or a lick, or a kopay or a lick. He knew he had often fought with others and taken risks to get them. After scouting the area, Lumion hoisted his axe and crept towards the collapsed building. He proceeded deeper and deeper. Every time traversing the empty space in the circle of a ring, he was apprehensive that a dozen monsters would ambush him. In the faint grey fog, Lumion crouched down and snuck behind a half-collapsed stone wall and squatted there and utilized it to conceal his form. Am I crazy, or was the music just a little too loud there? It was a narrow strip between 2 rows of destroyed buildings. There was no trees, weeds, or gravel. Just gravel, crevices, and dirt. Suddenly, a figure leapt out into Lumion's sight. It stood in the opposing building, staring. This figure was garbed in a black robe with a hood. From the back, there was nothing peculiar. It appeared to be an ordinary human. Black robe man? Klein? Although I guess it was a black and gold robe, but still. Lumion's heart constricted. In such a dream ruin, the appearance of a regular person was far more terrifying than the appearance of a monster. As if sensing that someone was approaching him, the figure swiveled. Lumion snuck a quick glance before retracting his head. He leaned against Lumion snuck a quick glance before retracting his head. He leaned against a wall and didn't dare to budge. With just one look, he had the expression that he had descended into a hell. The figure was indeed a human, but he had 3 faces and 6 eyes. Sukuna? The face in the front had cloudy eyes and sparse eyebrows and numerous wrinkles, evidently an old man. The one on the left was a chiseled face, sharp-looking blue eyes, and a thick black beard, making him look like a burly man. The skin on the right was smooth and delicate like a peeled egg. The blue eyes exuded obvious confidence and ignorance. It didn't seem a day over 5 years of age. 3 people. Why does this make me think of Medici? Sauron, Einhorn, and Medici. I mean, obviously, I think it would have to be red hair or something, no? But, I don't know, 3 people makes me think of Medici. What kind of monster is this? Lumion attempted to regulate his breathing to prevent his heart from racing. Such a monster had never surfaced, even in Aurora's horror tales. Only in the deepest, most absurd nightmares could it exist. Although it was not good to judge a person by their appearance, Lumion instinctively sensed that the 3-faced monster was far more powerful than the monster from before. Furthermore, there was a high probability it had some exceptional abilities. Eternal blazing sun, great father, please protect me from being discovered by it. Upon witnessing the scene, Lumion couldn't help but pray to the EBS. If he wasn't still clutching an axe in one hand and was in a perilous environment, he would have extended his arms. A gesture symbolizing the adoration of the sun. Hey, wait, hold on. Lumion, my boy, put down the axe and hit him with the Lord EBS will protect you if you do it well enough. At that moment, time appeared to be standing still. Lumion believed that he may be hallucinating. It was as if someone's stare pierced through the wall and landed on his back. His back stiffened instantly and felt somewhat warm. In just a second or two, the illusion vanished and the heavy footsteps receded into the distance. Lumion waited until the footsteps dissipated altogether, then gradually straightened his knees, turned around and poked his head out. Praise the sun, true. The monster was further away, having arrived behind the collapsed building whose two sides stood still. It still had its back to Lumion, as though it had transformed into a statue. Lumion breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't have the confidence to confront such a monster. T-pose your enemy for the sun, let's go! You get a 50% stat boost, and they get a 50% stat debuff, so actually it's a huge win, okay? Lumion retracted his body and deliberately for a while before deciding to conclude the night. No, wait, it's definitely impossible to venture deeper into the ruins from here. How do I circumvent it? Won't there be comparable monsters elsewhere? The closer I approach the mountain peak, the more potent the monsters become. Lumion retracted his body for a while before deciding to conclude the night. He intended to inquire with the woman who had given him the tarot card after daybreak to see if there was a means of dealing with a three-faced monster. If there was no alternative, he would take a detour. He arched his back, detached from the walls, and headed into the direction he came from. At that moment, he had a notion. If I slumber in these ruins, will I be able to escape the dream? Considering the possibility of monsters, he suppressed the urge to experiment. For now. On the way back, he searched every building he had passed, but couldn't find anything useful. There were only a few coins. After retreating for a while, Lumion conceived a notion and decided to take a detour. He approached the burnt-out house he had encountered first, where he had encountered the skinless monster. He wanted to see if the monster's demise would be detected by its kin. After locating and concealing himself, Lumion poked his head through and caught sight of another figure. The figure was half human and half beast. Its legs were bent forward as it squatted there, inspecting the skinless monster's cadaver. It had already removed the stone bricks and wooden blocks that Lumion had stacked. It wore a dark jacket and a relatively snug muddy pants, and carried a shotgun on its back. A shotgun? Lumion averted his gaze and withdrew his head. These monsters were absurd. They know how to use a shotgun. At that moment, Lumion felt like he was a hunter, hunting in the mountains with weapons and comrades, only to discover that the rabbit opposing him was clutching a water-cooled machine gun and targeting them. It was considered ridiculous and immersion-breaking. As time elapsed, he waited patiently for the monster with the shotgun to depart. Finally, he heard a faint sound, gradually receding. Lumion stuck his head in, once again examining the monster. It moved like a cat towards the back of the building. Initially, Lumion's heart raced, and then his eyes widened. He realized that the path the monster took was the same route he had taken when he ventured deeper. It's tracking me. It has an extraordinary tracking ability. Lumion was exceedingly grateful that he had opted for a detour when he returned, or he would have certainly collided with it and may have been ambushed. As soon as the monster vanished, Lumion sprang up and dashed towards his house. He is after elite with ranged weapons. Actually, he's not a level 1, thug anymore. He's fighting level 99 mob bosses. The crimson fire that reflected in the glass window of the house was akin to sunlight that could dispel darkness. Lumion sprinted all the way to his two-story building, yanked open the unlatched door, and rushed in. After locking the door, he gazed at the ruins through the window. What type of monster do you think it is? Are you talking about the three-faced monster or the fucking tracking one, Chris? Far from the grey mist at the edge of... Oh, good lord. At the edge of the ruins, there stood a faint figure, but it didn't approach. Both. I think the three-faced one has to be some kind of amalgamation, kind of like Medici. Obviously not at that level, because, no. But, some kind of amalgamation or something, like of several people. As for the tracking one that's using a shotgun, I couldn't even begin to answer that one. I have no fucking idea. Lumine exhaled and planned to extinguish the fire and ascend upstairs to sleep. He glanced at the still burning fire and muttered, "If it can still burn for a while, I can experiment to see if it continues to burn until it extinguishes, or if it's frozen." Lumine had previously verified through the rain that the wilderness where the ruins were located was undergoing natural development. It had nothing to do with whether he was dreaming or not, but whether the same situation was transpiring in the house or the so-called safe zone remains to be verified. He acted on his notion. He added a few more coals to the fire and fiddled with them. He then carried an axe and steel fork to the second floor and entered the bedroom. When Lumine arose, it was just after daybreak. I trust the Chinese over the Japanese when it comes to animation. Sequence 8, American Cop. When Lumine arose, it was daybreak. It was just after daybreak. He inspected his shirt like pajamas, as anticipated, and was disheartened to discover that all the gold, silver, and copper coins did not accompany him. Lumine exited the bed and stretched his body, sauntering to the desk and extending his hand to draw the curtains. Amidst the sound, a mild, refreshing radiance trickled in. As the window opened, fresh, organic air invaded Lumine's nostrils. He couldn't help but extend himself, feeling that waking up early was quite pleasant occasionally. Of course, this was owing to the patriotic public health campaign that Roselle had launched, and thanks to the subsequent rulers who had preserved it, only altering its name. He surveyed the area, sometimes gazing at the far-off forest, sometimes scrutinizing the orange-red clouds in the sky. Suddenly, Lumine's stare froze. He spied a large bird perched on an elm tree not far away. It had a pointed beak, feline face, brown feathers with scattered spots, brownish-yellow eyes combined with black pupils giving it a sharp appearance. It was an owl, and it seemed to be observing Lumine. Oh shit, let's go, baby! Alright, we're about to get some plot development soon. Let's go. Let's fucking get it. Alright. Ooh? Ooh? Alright, boys. I think we end stream there today. You know that Chinese use African for unlucky as a slang? Wait, seriously? We go for another 3 hours. Well, it's been 2.5 money. I feel like that's a good stream. Come on. Why are you censoring Wiz like it's job, bro? What the fuck? You're gonna say the most meanest shit and then like do this. Hey there! Sorry, man. Alright, bad timing. It's bad timing, you know? It's bad timing. Alright, boys. Have a great rest of your day or night. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow, because it's a weekday, will be a night stream. But we'll keep going with Lord of the Myth. Or old habits. Old habits. We'll keep going with COI. Bye, boys.